And there you are. Good morning, Mzansi. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a wonderful morning to wake up. It's wonderful. I can't wait to spend some 3 hours with you. It is a midweek on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning, and we are bound to inspire you this morning. We have a lot heading your way, from financial tips on how to survive during South Africa's economic times. We know it's tough, to exploring the fascinating history of coffee and how you can spruce up your own coffee routine. I mean, it's no secret, we love our coffee here, but we're going to delve just a little bit deeper this morning. Then we put the spotlight on female chefs this morning that's making a huge name for themselves out there, and we are excited for this one. Chef Tilavali from Meals with Mash is taking over the Culinary hotline, and we got some incredible recipes heading your way as we kick off Women's Month. And then finally, we're also being entertained by the vocals of the incredible Seth Gray. That's right. So this is definitely one Wednesday morning show that you do not want to miss. So let's get straight into it and say good morning to my brother, Graham. Here he is.
Oh, good morning, Sunshine. So good to see you. It feels like ages since we've been able to connect. We are going to have the most amazing Wednesday. It's a hump day. It's freewheeling to the weekend. Now, we've actually got a lot to sink our teeth into this morning. We are going to be talking about financial matters first up, and we want to empower you this morning. So I'm going to start by planting a little seed. If money wasn't an issue, okay, if salary wasn't even a thing, what job would you do? What is that purpose? Is that what drives you? What is that skill, that maybe untapped skill that you have that no one knows about? What is that job, that reality that you most dream of? Because I want you to have that as your true north when we enter into this discussion. Let us know. 063-408-8863. What job inspires you and would maybe surprise a few of us? Let us know, and we'll get into our actual jobs right now. I'll get into those news and sporting headlines, and then we got a lot of fun on the way.
For sure. Thank you very much, Graham. Looking forward to all of your comments. Get them in. Let's start off this Wednesday morning with your news headlines. With your national news this morning, the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Barbara Creecy, says the number of rhinos killed for their horns has decreased in the first 6 months of the year. Now, she said on Monday that 231 were poached between January and June. Now, that's 28 fewer than in the same period last year. Now, poaching trends also continue to show a move away from the Kruger National Park to provincial and private reserves. Joint efforts by SA's law enforcement agencies, customs officials and private security, as well as convictions of poachers, have led to the decline. Meanwhile, SANParks says they're introducing measures to end corruption involving rangers. Incidents have been reported where rangers have clashed with syndicates over rhino poaching, and the chief executive of SANParks, Hapilo Sello, says they offer financial counseling and other incentives to prevent rangers from ending up in a position where they will easily accept bribes from poaching syndicates. Now, Sello said they conducted research which showed rangers were easily bribed or blackmailed by criminals for their cooperation, mainly due to their unfavorable socio-economic circumstances. Then heading over to international news headlines this morning, the recent coup in Niger has prompted demonstrations against France, the former colonial power, with the French embassy coming under attack. Now, Germany has urged its nationals to take up France's offer to help other Europeans, and Italy is also organizing flights. And this as the military juntas in Burkina Faso and Mali warned any forcible attempt to restore the ousted Niger president would be seen as a declaration of war. Now, the two neighbors, also former French colonies, have both moved away from France towards Russia after staging their own coups in recent years. And Canada has become the first nation to start printing warnings directly onto individual cigarettes in a bid to deter young people from starting smoking and encourage others to quit. Now, the warnings in English and French include phrases such as "cigarettes cause cancer" and "poison in every puff." Now, the new regulations took effect yesterday. By July 2024, manufacturers will have to ensure the warnings are on all king-size cigarettes sold, and by April 2025, all regular-size cigarettes and little cigars with tipping paper and tubes must also include the warnings. And then we end up with a story. Much-needed health services are being brought closer to the farming and peri-urban areas of the Western Cape through a multi-million rand mobile clinic launched by the University of the Western Cape. Now, the state-of-the-art mobile clinic will be a win-win situation, as it will also afford students the opportunity to receive training in the community setting while reaching far-flung areas and communities which struggle to access health services. Now, this project is one of many outreach programs run from UWC. Now, last year, UWC also officially opened the doors to its new mobile dental clinic, which serves underprivileged communities. Love these projects from the UWC. Well done, guys. And that's where we leave your news headlines. We'll be back with another round at 7. Right now, let's get into your first sports bulletin of the morning. Here's Graham.
Let's dive right in with the Women's World Cup and FIFA delivering. This year, Netherlands showcased an outstanding performance, thrashing Vietnam 7-0 to advance to the last 16 as group leaders. Was Esme Bruchts and Jill Root both netting twice, setting a tournament record, in fact. And meanwhile, the United States encountered a nail-biting moment, settling for a goalless draw against Portugal in their Women's World Cup clash. And then Portugal's spirited debut nearly led to a stunning upset at Eden Park. The USA secured the second spot in Group E with that points-shared draw. And let's look at Banyana's weekend. And of course, head coach Desiree Ellis is keeping a close eye on Captain Rafielwe Jane's fitness for their vital FIFA Women's Cup encounter up against Italy in Wellington. So Jane sustained an injury in the Group G game against Argentina. They had to fight hard to maintain that 2-2 draw at the Dunedin Stadium. And with her experience in Italian football, especially from playing for AC Milan and Sassuolo since 2019, Jane's knowledge could be an absolute asset for her team. The match kicks off at 9 a.m. today. Now we turn to cricketing news, and Indian fast bowler Jasprit Bumrah has recovered from his back injury and will lead the squad in their 3-match T20 series against Ireland. So Bumrah's return to form clears the way for him to participate in the upcoming ODI World Cup in India in October. The 3 ODIs will be held on the 18th, the 20th and 23rd of August in Dublin, with India also competing in the Asia Cup from the 30th of August to the 17th of September. I think we must be scared of the amount of preparation they're getting ahead of the World Cup. Now, speaking of World Cups, of course, we turn to rugby now. And in Buenos Aires this Saturday, the Springbok team faces Argentina yet again, but with 13 changes from their previous narrow victory at Ellis Park here on home soil. So newcomer Gerard Steenkamp features on the bench, while Bongi Mbonambi will lead the squad for the first time. An incredible honour. Obviously, absent regular captain Sid Khaleesi is still recovering from that knee surgery, leaving Mbonambi in charge for his 60th Test cap. What a milestone. The match kicks off at 10 minutes past 12 in the morning on Sunday. So that's just past midnight on Saturday evening, marking the Boks' inaugural warm-up clash, of course, ahead of the World Cup, and this one against Argentina, as I said again. That's where we leave our sporting headlines. We will delve into a bit more of the meat of the Netball World Cup with Zanele Patelwa in just a moment, so stick around for that. But right now, let's get some weather news.
Thank you very much, Graham. Before we get into your temperatures, with one of the wettest winters in decades in full swing, the latest weekly dam statistics released yesterday showed Cape Town dams were full to the brim. And with the heavy snowfalls that have occurred during the past weekend and snowmelt still to come, they are going to receive even more water. Now, Theewaterskloof, the mother city's largest dam, has been overflowing for the past 3 weeks. Meanwhile, the SA Weather Service warns of significantly reduced visibility due to fog and resulting in difficult driving conditions in places over the southern and southeastern parts of Gauteng, the escarpment and southern highveld of Mpumalanga, as well as the eastern and central parts of Limpopo province today. Now, morning fog patches will also occur in the east of Northwest province and the eastern parts of the Free State. So if you're out on the roads, please drive with care. Let's get into those temperatures right now and see what you can look forward to and what you need to wear for this Wednesday. Polokwane starting off on a 3 degrees minimum, starting off with a maximum of 17, or reaching a maximum of 17. Mbombela on 10 minimum, reaching a maximum of 21. Pretoria this morning on 4 degrees minimum, staying cool with a maximum of 17. Johannesburg 3 and a high of 16 degrees. Over in Mike, a minimum of 3 degrees this morning with a maximum of 19. Klerksdorp, a very cold 1 degree, but warming up to 20 later on today. Kimberley on 2 degrees minimum and a maximum of 19. And Bloemfontein on 3 degrees with a maximum of 18 degrees. Then Richards Bay starting off on 11 this morning, maximum today 21. Pietermaritzburg starting off on 5 this morning, reaching a high of 20. Durban 12 and a high of 21. Mthatha starting off on 2 degrees with a maximum of a warmer 22 degrees. East London 12 and a high of 1. Cradock this morning over in 1 degree minimum there, very cold, also warming up to 20. Gqeberha, GQ 7 degrees minimum this morning with a maximum of 20. George 9 and a high of 20. Then in Cape Town on morning with a maximum of 20. Worcester also on 9 and a maximum of 20. Sutherland starting on 5 degrees, staying cool with a maximum of 15, and Uppington on 11 with a mild maximum of 24 degrees a little bit later on. That's your temperatures. Right now, before we do anything else, let's quickly take a look at your awesome pictures that you've sent in. Karen in Belito, good morning to you. Snapped this beautiful shot of the orange colors far out in the distance. I mean, that's a beautiful sunrise. Thank you very much, Karen. Then Gobile, standing in the garden. Look at that, enjoying some hot chocolate, he says, in Eswatini. Also beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing. Ismail, also good morning to you in Mossel Bay. Look at that in his hotel room, looking out at this beautiful, stunning morning view. Look at that sunrise over the ocean. Stunning. And then good morning to Audrey as well, all the way out in Durbs, looking out at the city lights. Beautiful, sparkly with that orange hues coming through as the sun is about to rise and start your Wednesday. Love, love, love those pictures. So beautiful to see your parts of the world. Please continue sharing those pictures with us. You can do so on our WhatsApp line 0634088863. We'll be back with another weather report just after 7.
Thank you, Brother Bear. And now we launch into the most amazing 3 hours. Why? Because that's that culinary hotline. Bling, ding, 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 on the way. And look at her. She's so fancy. She's brought scones. Tilivali Mash Magwera is here. Meals with Mash is the brand. She is amazing and she's absolutely lovely. And she's going to be creating the most fancy breakfasts ever. And she's sticking around for the culinary hotline. Then we are saving for retirement. And we've got quite a powerful emotional message if you are thinking about that right now. So stick around. We'll see you now.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back. You're to Good Breakfast Show Expresso right on this wonderful chilly Wednesday morning. Now, yes, we left July behind, and July saw the commencement of National Savings Month. Oh, yes, sent shivers across the nation. A month dedicated, of course, to encouraging South Africans to save. I know that it's tough. Now, we did begin this journey by watching this particular powerful video from Nedbank, and we'd like to watch it again, just in case you've missed it. So here we go, just one more time.
I'm Frank.
Hello,
How can I
Frank.
help you? What would you like?
My name is Max. I'm here to save you.
How are you?
Can I please have sparkling water? And what are you having?
Can I please get an orange?
Thank you.
Now we've got cutlery.
Yay!
You may or may not want the salad, but they said put it there anyways.
No.
Sorry, Mr. Frank.
No problem.
Sorry. Tidy up, please.
Is everything okay here? Don't you think Frank is too old to be working here?
Check, please.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Thank you.
90% of South Africans can't afford to retire.
Wow.
Sure.
Hector.
Look, that is scary, especially that one part where it says 90% of South Africans won't be able
That's
to
most of us.
afford to
Most of us.
retire. 90%, my friend. That is scary.
Absolutely terrifying. So today in our Money Matters chat, I think we wanted to unpack this feeling because it is an emotion. We are sitting with it right now. And we wanted to just kind of pose a few questions because we're not terrified enough after watching that commercial.
Let's unpack it a little bit more. But dude, like watching that video, I mean, this is the first time that I saw this now, but how does that make you feel? Just with
very
those
mortal.
stats in there. Yeah,
Very,
man.
very mortal. I think that's, I've been feeling more and more now, I suppose, as I move through milestones that I can really identify with stages of my mom's life. And I can see my son moving through stages that I still identify with my life. I felt that generational shift now in a big way. And I'm thinking about this second half, the second half, is that right?
Yeah,
Of our
the
lives. But
second
that's what
half.
you've got to consider it. You're going to be in retirement for almost as long as you are working
Actively
now.
working.
That's the reality, and it is a scary thing, but it's changed. I've simplified my relationship with money as a result of this journey that we've been on for the
Look,
last
it's a massive learning curve in terms of just understanding money. But I mean, I think it really comes down to, I think a lot of people feeling that, but we can't save. We can't save. And you know what, when we think about retirement, I mean, have you put any thought as to what that would look like for you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to work for a long time.
This is
I know
true.
it. I think I'm going to be active and working for a long time, partly because that's just how I'm wired. I don't think I can say, I still haven't figured out what my job is yet. I'm still like just actively searching
When are
for
you
my
gonna get a
calling.
real job, Graham?
Yeah, when am I going to actually get a professional job? But it is something now that we are actively, Linz and myself talk about it a lot. I've spoken about it a lot more with my mom now about what she wants, not just dealing with the reality of life, but what do you want out of that phase? And it's got me thinking about it. We live in this instant gratification world where 5 years from now is promised to no one.
We don't know.
Do you see a retirement? What does that look like for you?
Look, I have a picture as to what I would like. You know, I would love to have a little spot by the ocean and a little
Vescus.
a house
Oh,
yeah, somewhere
come
up the Vescus or on the garden route somewhere.
Oh, get out.
And live kind of that tranquil life. But getting there, I think, is the challenge in terms of putting away enough money and going about your money in a I think a responsible way, because it's challenging. You know, with kids and all the commitments and the unforeseen
debt.
circumstances of life, exactly, and debt, it makes it very challenging.
Are you saving enough?
I
To terrify you.
I am trying, but I can tell you right now that I'm not.
Yeah, I know that I'm not.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have gotten to that point, and that's why we've been asking for so much advice on how to tackle the debt. If you've got the COVID debt, what do we need to do before we can start saving relevantly? But I think the main thing is start something today. Start that action.
Exactly, because I mean, you know, if you take a look at this entire money journey of yours and where you are, it's about a mind shift. It's about a change, because it really is never too late to begin saving. You just need to start small and stay consistent. And I mean, consistency pulls through in so many other facets of life as well.
sure.
You got to be consistent with whatever you are doing. Every rand saved now in the right account will be multiplied for the future you. Now, Nedbank have multiple savings and investment solutions with fantastic interest rates that make it easier for you to achieve your financial goals. So what you can do right now, today, visit netbank.co.za and take that next important step.
Just one
Start
step.
saving.
Yeah.
One step.
90% of South Africans can't afford to retire. Start saving in a Nedbank Just Invest account. Choose a rate of up to 8.75% and make additional deposits when you have extra money. Join the bank that's best for your savings goals.
Welcome back. I know I was only gone for about 3 seconds here. I just want to make sure that you can hear me, you can see me, and that I do not blow my chance to be on screen with Tilivani, Mash, Mubena. I mean, we are Meals with Mash. Yes, we know the brand has made a huge impact. Now we get to cook as well because it is the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Sing, sing, sing! You are here, my friend. Welcome to it. I've got to say, congratulations. For the uninitiated, those that haven't seen Meals with Mash, what are you all about? What typifies your approach to the culinary arts?
So I'm all about all the recipes that are so easy, approachable, and relatable.
Relatable.
So, yeah.
Thank you for saying that, which means that I can cook along today.
Definitely, yes.
I like it because we want to make cooking accessible. So we've got some delicious, delicious food to be making this morning, and absolutely no pressure because we've got the whole nation wanting to join along this morning. But here is the opportunity. If you have any culinary questions for Chef Tilivani, please join in on the discussion. Send us your voice notes. You can use our WhatsApp line 063-408-8863. I've got to ask because it feels like more than you're good at, it feels like a passion. What prompted you diving into the culinary arts? What was that tipping point to do this?
It was just how food makes me feel. So whenever I cook, whenever I just am around how it makes other people feel around me, I was like, you know what, I want to do this more to make myself feel good, to make myself fulfilled, and also just to make other people around me happy.
Because it speaks to like the one emotional language that we all have, which I absolutely love. Okay, so our culinary conundrum for this morning is this. How do you make sure that your scones don't land up being hard as rock instead of being light and fluffy? Okay, which is a pretty tough question to ask, so we're going to put it to the test now and work through making some delicious lemon scones. I love lemon, I love scones, I love this vibe. This is perfect for breakfast. Where do we start?
So you'll be mixing all the wet ingredients, and then I will work on the dry ingredients.
The dry, okay.
First thing that you'll do, you'll just have to grate the lemon zest into the eggs, and then you'll whisk it all together.
All right. And I like this. In all my time, I've never encountered a lemon scone. And I love the lemon profile base. Absolutely delicious.
I feel like scones shouldn't be boring.
Yeah.
We should try and elevate the flavors of this beautiful breakfast dish.
And so now you've got an item that is a great sounding board. You can do so much with it. How much is it?
Just all of it, yes.
Okay, all of it. Okay, talk us through the process there.
You just have to trust the process.
Okay, now you're crumbling in the butter. Why do we do it like that?
So we do it so that it gives us like a firm texture and also so that it's well incorporated in the flour.
Okay. I love the fact that baking is tactile, that you can literally get your hands dirty, but you've got to kind of have a feel for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is looking good. Okay, lemon zest is in the mix. What's next?
Just mix it, and then you will juice the lemon.
Okay.
Then add in that lemon as the vanilla.
Layering in massive lemon flavors. Okay. The seedless does help a lot.
Yeah.
Wow, so these are going to actually pack a proper lemony punch.
Yes.
I love that.
And I feel that distinct lemon flavor in them.
There we go. Right, when you're incorporating your butter, how does that process look? How long should it take? Because normally I'd want to just rush through it, drive through. How do you know when you're starting to get the right texture?
So as soon as you don't have like large particles of butter, then you will know that it's well incorporated. And always make sure that you use very cold butter.
Cold butter,
yes.
Okay. I suppose otherwise, yeah, it's going to break down into that oil really quickly. Okay. We have got our lemon incorporated, and that's really changing the air acid in there. Yeah, that's great. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. All right, what's next?
Add in your vanilla as well as your yogurt.
Vanilla and a little bit of yogurt. And I think with scones, I want to say that it's kind of a little less, or it's a bit more forgiving when you're making scones, because that end result, I mean, we know we've got an all intuitive, a good feel of what a good scone is like. But what do you think makes a good scone?
I think what makes a good scone is obviously when it's not hard. A bit crispy on the outside, but very soft on the inside.
Yeah, it's almost like a density that it needs to have that kind of, you know.
Yes.
I love that. So we've got a voice coming through right now. Stacey, good morning, Stacey. Let's see what she had to say.
Hi, this is Stacey from Pretoria. I'd just like to know, how do you prevent your scones from being hard like a rock and make them nice and light and fluffy? Mine always come out rock hard.
It's going to be tough. No, I would imagine every baker has bombed trying to make scones. Like you say, you need to get that balance of texture right.
Yeah.
Do you have a secret?
So my secret is definitely not to overwork and overmix my dough.
Okay.
So you just be gentle with it and don't fight with it.
Don't fight. You're forming a relationship.
You're forming a relationship with it.
Gently, gradually go
so.
together. Okay, so we've got our yogurt in there as well. What's next?
So now we're just going to transfer all our wet ingredients.
The sugar, does that go in the wet?
Yes, you
or the
can
dry?
go into the wet, please.
And these aren't overly sweet. It's amazing actually how little sweet goes into this. So you've got that wonderful sounding board for other strong flavors like the jam. And of course, we are celebrating Women's Month. Lest we forget, August is here and we are so proud. So throughout the month, we are going to be heroing our amazing female culinary stars on the Culinary hotline. And we are here for that. Okay, so the wet is done.
So we're just going to gradually add this to the dry.
Okay.
Get a spatula.
Oh, I can't tell you how this lemon is popping.
It's fine for now. Then we're just going to gently mix it. I can smell it and it smells so good.
It smells amazing. And this is the kind of vibe you want in the morning. You want a pop of flavor.
Yeah.
You want that aroma. You want it to hit the senses in every way. And of course, you can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. It is absolutely vital that you don't rush the process.
Yeah.
As we said, it is about forming a relationship, not overworking that dough. So we're going to take our time here to make sure that we get the perfect mix. And yes, we will be making many because we have many guests. And I absolutely love the fact that Zanele has just stepped in, being inspired by our incredible woman this Women's Month. We've got the small matter of the Netball World Cup to chat about in a moment as well. Oh, that's looking good. A little bit more.
Let me tell you, netball fever is running high. And look who's here making not only a netball splash, but a fashion splash as well. Zanele, she is here. You look gorgeous. You look beautiful. Thank you very much for joining us. Now she's going to be running us through. We had a big game.
Huge game.
This afternoon, South Africa versus New Zealand. You can see, there's lots to talk about.
The toughest one so far, actually.
The toughest one so far. We're going to run you through the upcoming match and get Zanele's take on it. And like I said, the fever is running high with regards to netball. So we're going to take you through a bit of a speed training workout this morning, which should be fun as well.
Yay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be jumping in there. So this is going to be my first netball kind of workout ever.
I love this for you. Yes.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Stick around. Get your tackies on. We'll see you on the other side.
Bespoke.
Welcome back. Let's talk sport, baby. And we are blessed at the moment. It is crazy how much amazing women's sport is on air right now for us to take in. And of course, firm focus on the Proteas. Our ladies getting ready for possibly their toughest challenge. I'm not going to say possibly, definitely their toughest challenge at this year's Netball World Cup as they get set to take on New Zealand in their second preliminary stage 2 match later tonight. Now, the World Cup hosts are coming off the back of a very impressive 69-28 win against a strong Trinidad and Tobago, and SABC Sports and 5FM's Zanele Potelwa has been there for, I think, every pass, interception, goal, probably every whistle, second.
All of them.
And the times before, in
the
between and
warm-ups,
after.
exactly, you know.
Girl, you look gorgeous. Thank you for representing the family like you are doing at the moment. Just absolutely spectacular. How have you found the experience now that it's happened? Because we spoke to you at number 99 as it was about to get out the gates. Wow, it's happening.
It's huge. And the really beautiful thing, I mean, first and foremost, we know that it's the first time the Netball World Cup is on the African continent. And I just highlight that again because yesterday we were chatting to the Tongan president of the, or rather CEO of the Netball Association in Tonga. And she was saying that the Netball World Cup, she's been to so many, but this one, there's just something so special about it.
Different.
Right? And I've heard so many of the people from outside of South Africa say exactly that. So I think that we can be proud. And also, you know, it's really great to be able to have a family to represent that is so amazing.
Yeah,
yes.
I think this is where the joy of working within the SABC ecosystem, you suddenly start to see this connection on multiple levels to the people. I love the fact that we are taking netball to the people. And obviously this puts expectation on our girls to deliver on a different level. And I've been wondering how much of a difference that is for them, having that added expectation against Trinidad and Tobago. Not so much of a problem, a brilliant bounce back.
100%, and I think we really needed it. I mean, they even called it a little bit of a confidence booster after going down to Jamaica, because I don't know if I mentioned this the last time I was here, but you know, Jamaica's one of those teams that absolutely everybody was just genuinely scared of. Even when I spoke to some of the people from New Zealand.
A bit of a hoodoo side,
Dude, the
for
reigning champions. They were like, you know, they are the team that for me are making me shake in my boots. And, you know, so I think we had a tough one. Anything is still possible. That's the lovely thing. We're not ruled out of winning the Netball World Cup as a whole, but it will be tough at the end of the day. And just like you said, we have our toughest match tonight.
What do we need to do? That being said, against a New Zealand side that seldom seems to be off the pace, and this is such an unforgiving level of the sport. We've seen that one quarter will probably change a game. What do we do against New Zealand?
Okay, so let me tell you.
How?
I love how you're like, how can we do it? So when we look at New Zealand, right, they are currently the reigning champions, as well as ranked second in the world because Australia took it from them over the last Commonwealth Games. However, with that being said, they just unfortunately and sadly had the news that their strongest player, who was Grace Noeke, she's only 21 years old. She was named player of the tournament at the Quad Series. She unfortunately is no longer in the World Cup. Just like us also losing our goal shooter, Lenise Potgieter. So, you know, both of
I'm
the
not
sides
celebrating,
no,
that's just very unsportsmanly, but I will take it gracefully with what you've said,
So we do see that where we're seeing a few changes in both sides. However, with New Zealand, it is a little bit more of a letdown for them because, like I said, she's a playmaker. She's one of the most important teammates. So,
But World Cups provide these opportunities for other players to make their mark in history.
Exactly.
So I think just take it lightly. You know, a team is not their one-star player. We've seen it with our ladies as well. It seems like you can experience this on a whole different level. The Dome. Talk me through this 360-degree experience in that space.
It's so crazy because do you know that there's like 4 or 5 matches happening a day on different courts?
On different platforms.
Exactly. It's the craziest thing. And honestly, I also feel a beautiful way to see all of this netball rather from different parts of the world. Exactly. And I think another really beautiful thing is, you know, seeing the different teams react to how each other play, because even just yesterday, Malawi was playing up against Australia, which is the world number 1. Malawi's one us, and when we talk about, you know, what to be in terms of the difference of those two teams playing against each other, it should possibly be a little bit easy for Australia, right? However, yesterday we saw them be at halftime 28-28, and even the Australian team came outside of that match and they were like, Malawi shocked us. We didn't expect that. The beautiful thing is that it's African netball.
And I'm sure the teams are feeling it at the moment. If you go down near the CTICC at the moment, you feel it. You feel it the second you go into Cape Town. There is a lot happening there. It's not just the action inside the CTICC.
100%. And that's the thing. Even Bongi Msomi, our captain, she said that, you know, she calls South Africa the 8th player on the court. And even when we were in a press conference just the other day with New Zealand, they said when they were here in January for the quad series, they were so shocked by what was going on because everybody was singing, everybody was dancing while they were playing and everything. And they were just like, the support is something that you can't help but feel, whether you're the Proteas or somebody else who's on the other side. So I genuinely feel like South Africa's just coming to...
Well, you can go and play yourself. The fact that you can play as part of netball, the street netball series, that in itself is amazing.
It is, and there's so many lovely things as well at the fan parks as a whole, from VS Gaming to a kids' corner. It's honestly just a celebration, exactly. And also, I want to say shout out to you guys as Cape Town, because I feel like you guys are representing us really well and just doing the things in terms of being a home.
Well done to the mother city. And I think the most important element here is connecting young girls to the sporting property. Do you think this is landing properly? Are we getting the representation that we need right now? Because this opportunity is not going to come back again soon.
Of course, and the beautiful thing about netball is that it's been doing that for the longest time, right? Where I feel like there's more and more young girls who are able to see themselves, and people like Bongi Msomi, Lenise Potgieter, and all of the ladies. They are such a huge symbol for what it means for dreams to come true for a young girl, especially the likes of a Bongi Msomi who comes from a township. You know what I mean?
She's lived that narrative.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really just something that only continues to grow. Now it's on a bigger scale. I even see the little girls there at the CTICC, and they are starry-eyed. They are so
hero.
100%. Even if they're watching the Proteas or watching another team, they are just so in love with it. I think it really is a beautiful thing. You guys mentioned
in Women's Month. Well, thank you for very proudly representing our family. I think our emotional connection to these kind of sporting moments has been proven in the past. We absolutely love it. Now, ladies, go out there and deliver. We've got your back.
And deliver they will for sure. We have full faith in our ladies later on today. Now, one of the things athletes can do to improve their performance on the netball court is to improve their speed. We know it's a fast-paced game. Now, doing this will allow you to get a step ahead of the defenders on the court and allow you to see more success in those flying interceptions. Now, here to take us through some speed exercise this morning that you can use to improve that very speed is biokineticist Catherine Masterson. Catherine, lovely to have you this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've never done a speed netball workout.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
First time's for
First time. Okay, so
Perfect.
please take us through what are we going to do, because I mean speed is essential on the netball court.
Definitely. So we are going to start with a little warm-up.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to have your feet as long ways apart as possible, both heels flat and toes facing forwards. And what I want you to do is you're going to have your hands on your hips and you're going to lift the toes of your front foot up and then the heel of your back foot up. Yes. So we're just getting into the shins in the front and the calf at the back. So the calves, hamstrings, glutes, really important for speed training.
Absolutely, because also that fast contracting
muscle. And you can do one more. Good. Let's change sides.
All right, get involved, Nzanzi. Come on. It's a nice little stretch as well.
Forward. Good. And try and go up towards the ceiling and not forwards with the body.
All right.
Also, it helps you to warm up on these chilly Cape Town mornings.
For sure. And it's proper chilly, I think, across South Africa this morning.
Good. And last one there. Okay, now, if you are struggling with your balance a bit, you can hold onto someone or onto a wall, but we're going to do some leg swings for your hamstrings. So you're going to go up to your toes with your opposite hand. Yes, there we go, as high as you can.
Oh, there's a stretch.
There we go. And you can change sides. How's this feeling in the hamstrings?
Yeah, no, it's tight. I did legs yesterday, so I can feel it. But this is a great way to loosen up.
Good, last one. And relax. This one I would recommend holding onto someone. We're going to go across the body and all the way up. So like that. You're going to go across and out to the side.
Wow.
Yes, so you do it.
So there.
There we go. So you're feeling your inner thighs.
And then the glute on the other side.
Yes. Good.
Right.
And change sides.
Okay. So we're going to go here.
There we go.
Sure, this is a swinging situation. Okay.
Good, and relax. Okay, now we're gonna do some calf raises. So I like to do ABC. So A, toes facing forwards, B, toes facing in, C, toes facing out.
All right, to get all the various kind
So you're gonna go up onto your toes relatively quickly because we're doing a little speed session. Then you can turn your toes in. We're gonna get into your inner calves here.
All right.
Yes, and then toes turned out. Up. Good. Again, up to the ceiling, pull the tummy in, and good. Okay, now we're gonna be in this stance. So it's almost like half a lunge.
Okay.
But nice and quick, I want you to use your arms. So when I say to my athletes, use your arms like a running man position.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going up with your knee. Yes, as quickly as you can, and as quickly back as you can. Yes,
Keeping
go
that balance,
3,
keeping that core engaged.
2, 1. Good. Change sides.
Now we're going to go here.
Yes. Up. Last 2. Last 1. Good. And relax.
Right.
Okay, now we're going to go down to the floor. Touch. Heels flat.
Okay.
Up. Down to the floor. Up. Good. 2 more. Last 1. And relax. So you're getting warm.
Yeah, definitely. What I like about this is this bit of an exercise, but it's also like this dynamic kind of warm-up.
Yes.
That you need for that muscles and the blood getting into the muscles.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
This is my favorite. So we're not doing any hops in between. You're
Okay.
skipping all the way around. All the way around.
So all the way around.
So good cardio. Yes. Good speed training. Good for the calves. Good. Can you do a double under? Yes. Good job.
All right.
Cool.
So skipping, of course, also one of my favorite exercises.
Yes.
I'm glad we're doing that because from a cardio point of view, it really gets the heart rate up and it's a good one. It's a full body workout.
Good for boxing, good for running,
Yes.
good for netball. Very good for ankles and stuff as well. Okay, now we're gonna go down onto the floor.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna grab the ball here. We're gonna go get into the tummy. You're gonna lift up, and we're going. There we go.
new part.
Yes, yes. There we go. And last one. Good job. Rest.
That's it.
High
I
five.
like that. That's very cool. So, I mean, it's a great way to incorporate something like this in your morning routine, just to get the blood flowing, to wake up a little bit, but with a big focus on, of course, that netball speed type of training. Captain, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me in Women's
That was
Month.
good. Yeah, man, that was awesome. Women's Month here. We're all for it. We love it. That's a little exercise session this morning. Bank this workout and do it in the mornings as well to wake up, especially if it's cold outside. Great way to look after your body.
I'm sure getting warmed up as we speak ahead of their clash up against Italy a little bit later this morning. Banyana gave an off-the-pitch performance that was nearly pitch perfect. We'll delve into that in just a moment. It's going to be a spectacular hump day, the Culinary hotline, and a whole lot more on the way. We'll see you now. Watch South Africa versus Scotland live in France in a once-in-a-lifetime rugby experience brought to you by Clover. Catch the box in rugby's ultimate showpiece, hosted by Springbok legend Skulk Burger. 5 lucky winners and their partners will be winging their way to France. Plus, take a cruise to the Mediterranean island paradise of Ibiza. Buy any Clover product to enter. Watch Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more information on how you can win.
Made with love by Clover.
how you can generously give a voice to storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back, beauties. Yes, we are buzzing because it is Women's Month here in South Africa, and we are here for that. And of course, it is the midweek and time to check out the latest in entertainment news because, well, people have been busy and see what has got the socials abuzz with trending stories both locally and internationally. Zanele Potelwa, you came dressed to do entertainment news this morning. You do realize that?
I came dressed for you guys because I was hoping you'd allow me to stay over the I like your vibe.
You had an agenda. Well, we're going to open with a story that kind of speaks to that. You wanted to stay. So did Kirsten Bell and Dax Shepard. And this is the first story that we want to hone in on. They were kicked out of an airport and over a little slumber party. So they had massive delays at Boston Airport. They were there with their 2 kids, and they dropped an Instagram story that's now gone off. I think it's been retired since. They'd spent over $600 on buying pillows and cushions so they could sleep. And of course,
As you would at
an airport. Now, I went through something very similar at Schiphol International Airport. Then, of course, got booted out. I had to leave the airport, and they had to leave the airport. But, of course, there were no hotels open in the greater Boston area. Oh, no. You'd think being a celebrity would earn you a little bit of cred, but maybe that doesn't happen at the airport.
Shepard, man.
I know.
Love the guy.
I'm Kirsten Bell saying, but I'm Kirsten Bell, man.
I was going to go there, but anyways. But I think it's, you know what? I mean, this airport kind of shenanigans that goes on. I mean, if you think about it, if you have a long delay and you can't book yourself into one of the airport hotels. I mean, there were no availability for these guys anywhere else in the greater Boston area, like you've said. They had to spend $600 on just some pillows and blanket. You've got kids, and you just want to catch a nap because it's a long time to just sit around and wait. But then to be kicked out, I mean, come on, what are you supposed to do?
What was the reason for them getting kicked out?
Well, they can't stay, but despite it being open 24 hours, I think there was a little bit of breathing room in terms of what that actually is. And we've heard of people being trapped in airports and things like that, but with visa-related issues, but never a local being kicked out of a local airport. Oh, no. Come on, America, come on. Now let's hone in on a beautiful relationship and a gorgeous, very emotional tribute to her friend Tony Bennett. And of course, Lady Gaga, we know that she had released 2 albums with Tony Bennett, and he passed fairly recently on July the 21st at the age of 96. Yeah. And they seemed like a very unlikely duo. The fact that they came from seemingly 2 polarities, but I think they were purists at heart. And she had this to say: I will miss my friend forever. I will miss singing with him, recording with him, talking with him, being on stage together. Aww. There was something about their bond.
There was magic between them. When they performed together, you could see it in that eye-to-eye contact when they were performing together. And like you said, it's an unlikely friendship, but 2 superstars like this and just doing their thing on stage. And you know, they made beautiful music together. They really did.
Well, there was a chemistry. It felt like he was a safe place for her in the midst of all of this insanity.
100%, and I feel like she was a safe space for him as well, because every single time that they would like meet up on a red carpet, they would always just have, or rather, they would just come
maybe
together.
She was his link to the celebrity world now.
Yeah.
Oh man, absolutely beautiful. So of course, we were gutted that Banyana were pushed to a draw when they should have won that match, but we had to then focus on their off-pitch performance. I want you to take a little listen to this.
Come on.
Where did that come from? Our goalkeeper's got some pops. Absolutely amazing. Oh, we have so much faith in you ladies. Going to be doing the business a little bit later today, but you've got to do the business right now.
Yeah.
To get back in the kitchen, we've got some taste testing to do. How does that make you feel? That is like the most South African video that you could put out there.
Yes, and I feel like, especially because it's in another country, it's almost like really representing us. Not on the field. Yes, exactly. But also, you know, we live in a gig economy in South Africa. So if they kind of like come back and they feel like they want to record an album, I'm buying it.
100%.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's a director that's jumped on that, maybe a coral outfit in South Africa that's ready to collaborate. Zanele, enjoy all of the footy that's on the way. Most importantly, enjoy your front row seat to the netball.
100%.
It makes it very easy to proudly celebrate Women's Month when you've got superstars like that driving the brand. And of course, we are loving the fact we get the sport right here.
Love that stories. Thank you very much, Graham, for leading the charge there. But now, in the kitchen, with just 2 weeks left to enter the Golden Cloud Winter Indulgent Treats competition, it's safe to say that this competition is very tight. Now, today, we are tasting the top 3 entry bakes from this week's submissions and will announce this week's cash prize. It's a big one, 5,000 Rand. Graham, I need you to get in here, my friend, because we have got to judge.
I'm feeling a bit judgy this morning, I won't lie.
Do you have a bit of a sweet tooth as well?
I'm not the sweetest tooth, so to impress me, it needs to be good, man.
All right.
Be hardcore like that. I'm going to be that judge today.
We've got 3 different bakes here. And our first bake this morning is by Zandeline Tegerson, who baked this carrot cake cream cheese stuffed cookies.
Okay, Zandeline and I go way back.
Okay.
She's like a serial competition enterer, and she is so good. She's like made it her
a serial competition enterer.
Yeah, no, but
I love that.
She's amazing because she's relentless, and she is so good and so creative. I've got my little Bucky. Thank you.
Sure. So this is a carrot cake cream cheese stuffed cookies.
I like that.
Okay, so
I almost feel like I need a knife just to slice this.
I'm going to break
to experience the. Whoa.
So first.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, we've run out of knives. Okay,
did you find one?
I didn't find a knife.
Okay, well I'm going to break it open.
Okay.
Like this because I want to
see that. Oh, okay. This is chocolate chip. I got you.
Oh yes. Okay.
I think we are looking. Oh, there, dude. You got us. You set us off on the wrong footing because this is definitely a chocolate.
Oh, so this is Zandeline. Okay, we'll get to that one just now then. Okay.
Oh man,
so here we go. I'm going to break this one. Oh my god. Okay, this is Zandeline.
Now you understand. Okay, there you can see the cross section.
Yes.
Wow, so I'm seeing the carrot cake. The texture feels great.
Oh wow.
Really
it hits you like a couple of seconds into the taste.
It is very confusing to eat.
But you got the crunch of the cookie. You got this beautiful filling on the inside.
I love the way that they've achieved this, or she's achieved this kind of soft, gooey center. It kind of feels like a milk tart, but it's got a cookie texture. That's absolutely amazing. That's really good. Really, really good.
Okay. Zandeline, amazing.
More.
Now, our second bake this morning is by Selena Pillay, who baked these moist pecan and chocolate chip cupcakes. Trying to eat with a cookie in your mouth. With cardamom-infused cream cheese frosting.
Ooh, okay.
So this is the one here.
This is our guy. So I'm going to taste this in stages.
Yeah.
Let's get a little bit of that.
But you got to get a bit of everything in there. There's a cardamom.
I love cardamom in a bake.
Oh, and a choc chip as well. And then the crunchiness of the nuts. Yeah, I do feel very judgy this morning.
Well, it is kind of our job. Okay, I like that. Nice balance with some strong, different flavors involved. Really cool.
I like that.
And then round us off, we've got
a last bake here by Zalda Hennessy, who baked these s'mores, chocolate brownies.
Oh, you'd think you would see more of these on the socials, eh?
Yeah.
That a s'more and a chocolate brownie would be like best mates.
Yeah, and you can see the marshmallow. It's been a little bit roasted. Got to get a little bit of everything in there. Oh, wow. That is good.
Very good. Beautiful texture on the brownies, which is, I think, the most important. A lovely balance of flavors. What I liked about all of these, there were quite a few strong flavors involved, and I think generally they got the balance. I'm sounding like a professional, but they generally got the...
Yeah,
I know. We do eat a lot of sweet things. Really good balance of strong flavors. That being said, I think the one that nailed it with the most extreme flavors and found that balance, for me, the milk tart cookies, that was the stand-up, but they're all delicious.
They are all fantastic, but I couldn't agree with you anymore. I think we have our winner. So congratulations to Zandeline Tegerson. These beautiful cream cheese stuffed cookies. They are incredible. I love it.
Zandaline, you are amazing. I think we expect you, but I think that
just
that combination. That's just. I'm going to take the whole thing. Absolutely exquisite. Thank you so much.
Oh, that is good. There we go. Thank you very much, Zandaline. You'll be walking away with 5,000 Rand in cash. There we go.
Absolutely wonderful. So good things do come to those who bake. But remember, you stand a chance of winning big with Golden Cloud as well. And here is how.
Baking is love made edible.
You can bake your way to a weekly cash prize of 5,000 Rand with Golden Cloud over the next 4 weeks.
Post a pic and recipe with your winter indulgence that you made with Golden Cloud and send it to our Expresso WhatsApp line or social media pages using that hashtag Golden Cloud Winter Treats.
Plus, you stand a chance of winning the grand prize of a KitchenAid stand mixer if you post a pic of you and your family baking with Golden Cloud on our WhatsApp line or any of our social media pages using that all-important hashtag Golden Cloud Winter Treats.
Don't forget to enter both separately from 12 July to 9 August, and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
I've now finally finished eating, and yes, it is a culinary hotline. Blink, ting, 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 and everybody is here. We absolutely love it. Meals with Mash is in our studio, and we can continue to take your questions on the other side of this. 063 408 8863. Drop us a voice note question.
See you just now.
It's my feel-good.
From delicious bakes to meatballs, it's all going down on the culinary hotline. We'll reopen the lines on the other side of getting through these news and sporting headlines.
Thank you so much, Graham. 1 minute past 7 o'clock. Let's give you another round of your news headlines, starting off with your national news. International Relations and Cooperation Minister Dr. Naledi Pandor yesterday hosted her Japanese counterpart Yoshimasa Hayashi. Now, the two ministers held consultations focusing on various bilateral and multilateral issues of mutual interest. Now, Japan is a major investor with some 90 billion rand injected into the SA economy. The East Asian country also has a presence of 273 companies sustaining over 200,000 local job opportunities. Now, Pandor also called on Japan as chairperson of the G7 countries to persuade the group's leaders to launch a peace process to end the war in Ukraine. And the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Barbara Creasy, says the number of rhinos killed for their horns has decreased in the first 6 months of the year. She said on Monday that 231 were poached between January and June. That's 28 fewer than in the same period last year. Now, poaching trends also continue to show a move away from the Kruger National Park to provincial and private reserves. Joint efforts by SA's law enforcement agencies, customs officials and private security, as well as convictions of poachers, have led to the decline. Then making international news headlines this morning, at least 11 people have died and 13 others are missing in torrential rains in Beijing as China braces for the third typhoon in as many weeks. Now, the remnants of last week's superstorm named Doksuri flooded Beijing for the fourth straight day yesterday, even as another typhoon approached the eastern coast. Now, China has been seeing extreme heat and rain in recent weeks, which scientists have linked to climate change. And in Iran, 2 emergency holidays have been declared due to unprecedented heat of above 50 degrees Celsius in some places. And the recent coup in Niger has prompted demonstrations against France, the former colonial power, with the French embassy coming under attack. Now, Germany has urged its nationals to take up France's offer to help other Europeans, and Italy is also organizing flights. Now, this as the military juntas in Burkina Faso and Mali warned that any forcible attempt to restore the ousted Niger president would be seen as a declaration of war. Now, the two neighbors, also former French colonies, have both moved away from France towards Russia after staging their own coups in recent years. And we end up with this story. Nigerian Afrobeats superstar Wizkid is the first African artist to receive the Brit Billion Award, which recognizes artists who've achieved over 1 billion digital streams in the UK. Now, the 33-year-old is a multi-award winning artist, which includes 2 Grammys. Now, in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, the Brit Awards said they presented the gong to Wizkid after his recent performance at the Hotspur Stadium in London. Now, some of his famous collaborations include artists from Beyonce and to fellow Nigerian star Thames. Now, his 4th album, made in Lagos, was also awarded gold certification in the US in 2022 after selling some 500,000 copies. Yet, I think another first for an African artist. Well done to you. That's where we leave your news headlines. Let's get you another round of your sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Perhaps underpinned by Women's Month right now, some stellar performances in the field of women's sport. Let's start with football. And the Netherlands showcased an outstanding performance, thrashing Vietnam 7-0 to advance to the last 16 at group leaders. Esmea Bruchts and Jill Root both netting twice, setting a tournament record, in fact. And meanwhile, the United States, they encountered a nail-biting moment, settling for a goalless draw against Portugal in their Women's World Cup clash. Portugal's very spirited debut in the competition nearly led to a stunning upset at Eden Park, USA securing that 2nd spot in Group E with the draw. And from Banyana's perspective, obviously Coach Desiree Ellis is keeping a very close eye on Captain Rafael Jane's fitness for their vital FIFA Women's World Cup encounter up against Italy in Wellington shortly. Now, Jane sustained an injury in the Group G game up against Argentina that resulted in a 2-2 draw at the Dunedin Stadium. Of course, with her experience in the Italian Football League from playing for AC Milan and Sassuolo since 2019, Jane's knowledge is an absolute asset for the team. That match kicks off at 9 a.m. today. Now we turn to cricket. An Indian fast bowler, Jasprit Bumrah, has recovered from his back injury and will lead the squad in their 3-match T20 series against Ireland. So Bumrah's return to form clears the way for him to participate in the upcoming ODI World Cup in India in October. It's a big one. The 3 ODIs, they'll be held on the 18th, 20th and 23rd of August in Dublin, with India also competing in the Asia Cup from the 30th of August to the 17th of September. All really good World Cup preparation. Speaking of World Cups, let's turn to rugby now. And in Buenos Aires this Saturday, the Springboks team, of course, in their build-up to the World Cup, will face Argentina with 13 changes from that previous narrow victory against the same side at Ellis Park last weekend. So newcomer Gerard Steenkamp features on the bench. Then a massive moment for Bongi Mbonambi as he leads the squad for the first time. So our absent regular captain Sekalisi is still recovering from that knee surgery. That leaves Mbonambi in charge for his 60th Test cap. What a milestone. That match kicks off, well, really late or really early, depending on how you sit. It's 10 minutes past 12 in the morning on Sunday, so that's 10 minutes past midnight. That marks the Boks' inaugural warm-up clash against for the World Cup up against Argentina. And that's where we leave our sport for this hour. The roads should have woken up by now. Let's get you to work safely with you.
Thank you so much, Graham. Not too much going on the roads this time of the morning, but there is a ramp closure due to the Netball World Cup on the inbound elevated freeway to Walter Sisulu. So please just use an alternative route if you're making your way into town. Then over in Midrand, Johannesburg, there is a stationary vehicle on the N1 southbound before Olifantsfontein Road. One lane is closed and there's some slow-moving traffic in the area as well. Just be aware of that and plan your routes accordingly. That's your traffic for now. Please be safe on the roads. Let's get into your weather. First and foremost, some weather news. At least 14 lives were lost, 7 of them children, in fire-related incidents during the past weekend in Cape Town. Our family who took a drum of hot coals indoors succumbed after being overcome by suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, with the intense cold persisting, people are urged to use heaters, paraffin stoves and other sources of heating for instant konkas, so with great care. Meanwhile, the burning of waste has been prohibited in the Tshwane Metro until the end of September, and this is to prevent runaway fires. And during this period, individuals and organizations need to obtain a permit before any waste material can be burnt. Approval is subject to the Fire Danger Index, to weather warnings, and to the results of fire brigade inspections. Please be safe. I know that it's cold, but we've got to look after those close to us. Now, let's get into your temperatures. Polokwane starting off on 3 degrees minimum with a maximum of 17. Mbombela on 10 minimum with a maximum of 21. Pretoria this morning starting off on 4 degrees minimum, your maximum 17. And Johannesburg on 13, reaching a maximum of 16 degrees. Then Mahikeng starting off on 3 degrees minimum, reaching a maximum of 19. Klerksdorp on a 1 degree minimum with a maximum of 20. Kimberley starting off on 2 degrees minimum, your maximum 19 degrees. Bloemfontein, very cold this morning, -3 with a maximum of 18 degrees. Then over to Richards Bay this morning, 11 degrees minimum and your maximum 21. Pietermaritzburg starting off on 5 degrees this morning, reaching a maximum of 20. Durban on 12 minimum this morning and a maximum of 21. Mthatha on 2 degrees minimum, starting off nice and cold, but we're reaching a warmer 22 degrees later on. East London, you can expect a minimum of 12 this morning with a maximum of 21. 1 degree in Cradock this morning with a maximum of 20. GQ, Gqeberha, starting off on 7 degrees, reaching a maximum of 20. And George on 9 degrees minimum, also with a maximum of 20 this morning. Cape Town now on a minimum of 9 degrees, reaching a maximum of 20. Worcester on 9 minimum with a maximum of 20 as well. Sutherland staying cold today, starting off on 5 degrees minimum with a maximum of only 15. And Uppington on 11 degrees with a mild maximum of 24 degrees. Temperatures, before we do anything else, let's quickly take a look at your sunrise views. Good morning to Andrew out in Belito. Beautiful, capturing this bright pinks radiating from the sky. Look at that. Thank you very much, Andrew. Spusiso, good morning to you. Also in Durban, sharing similar views. I mean, look at those colors. Absolutely stunning. Looks like a gorgeous morning in Durban for sure. Then Louise, we want to say good morning to you in Alberton from her garden. Look at that, drinking some tea, sent in this incredible moment. I mean, that literally looks like a painting, Louise. Thank you very, very much. It looks gorgeous. And Lajith shared this video as birds fly by, beautiful lit sky, sea tides, a beautiful way. And having a cup of coffee, you can. Here in studio, that is one way to and savoring in the morning. Thank you very much for sharing. Please continue to do so. We have another weather segment coming up. You can share those views with us on our WhatsApp line 0634088863.
I've got to say thank you for letting us live vicariously through you. As I do, yes, get to sip and take a pause moment with my own coffee and get to see how you wake up. We absolutely love it. Well, you can wake up with us this morning for the culinary hotline that is inspired all month by Women's Month. And we've got an amazing young chef, an up-and-comer who is making her mark. Tilivali Mash. She is Meals with Mash. I think you know her online. She is absolutely brilliant. And she's just so wonderful. And she's here for the culinary hotline. Bling! Ding, ding, ding. We'll see you now.
Making an iced cappuccino with thick creamy froth is now impressively easy. Jacobs.
It's my feel-good.
Welcome back to it. You're tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on S3. It is Expresso. And welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. Yes. And we have creator and the woman behind the popular social media page Meals with Mash, Tilivali, in studio with us. And if you have any culinary questions, conundrums that you want our chef this morning to sort out, you can join that discussion or send your voice notes on our WhatsApp line 063408 8863. Tilivali, lucky to be in the kitchen with you. Are you well?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Awesome. Yeah, good, good, good. So the first one, you made us scones, and we love a good scone. And you showed us exactly how to do it so that it doesn't turn out to be a weapon. But now, before you're going to show us your famous mash, we're going to do meatballs for this one. And look, meatballs, we got to love some meatballs, man, because there's a lot that you can do with them, right?
True.
Okay, so let's start off. For this culinary hotline, we are doing these meatballs, and you've got a lot of stuff here to prep. So please put me to work.
So I'm going to need you to chop off that basil.
Okay.
Finely chop it. And then I've just finished off browning my meatballs, which I'm going to set aside now.
So you want this finely chopped?
Yes, please.
Got it. Okay.
And then you can just keep a few for us to garnish with.
Okay, so this one I'll leave. And this one. See, sorry. I'm busy chopping because for good reason. I like all my fingers. Right, but I'll show you a technique here. What I've learned here on your Feel Good Breakfast show when it comes to cutting herbs. I love the smell of basil when you start cutting it. It just releases that instant flavor.
Especially with my onion, same pan.
Okay. So what actually are you putting together here?
So I'm putting together like meatballs that we're going to some mash. This is so good for like a quick midweek dinner.
Meatballs and mash, I like that. All right, how fine do you want this? Because I can keep going all morning, eh?
I think that's perfect.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay, so we'll save this.
Sauteing our onions just up until they're a bit soft.
Okay, so just quickly, how did you, this is just meatballs that you formed. Did you put anything else in the meat? Did you bind it, or what did you do?
Actually, just eggs, salt and pepper.
Egg, salt and pepper?
Yeah.
That's it, okay. Love that. Again, if you have any questions with regards to food-related items such as meatballs this morning, because she is the pro in that, let us know 0634088863. We'd love to connect with you and solve your conundrums this morning.
And now we're going in with our garlic.
Okay. Oh, yes. Garlic always goes in later, right?
Yes, otherwise it's going to burn.
Okay. So we did have a voice note this morning from someone specifically asking around meatballs. Quickly listen to this.
What can you do to avoid your meatballs from being dry?
All right, because, I mean, we love a good meatball. Thank you very much for the question. But if you bite into it and it's dry and you have to chew on it for like half an hour, not great.
So you have to avoid cooking it on very high heat, and you have to avoid cooking it for so long. So you cook it on medium heat and not for a long time. It's going to be very soft and tender.
Okay, so that's it. Just to, so if you're going to go too fast and too hot, then you're going to end up dry. So, I mean, what, the trick here with meatballs is really to try and keep it moist on the inside, right? But still cook through. I know that some people don't like it still when it's like pinkish or that. Yeah. How do you get that right? How do you know when your meatballs are done?
So your meatballs have to like be a little brownish inside, and they have to be very soft. So to achieve that, you cook it quickly, like brown it, and then after that you cook it on very low heat for a long time, maybe for like 20 minutes or so. Okay. Just so that it's good inside.
So it actually cooks through nicely, but still retains all that juice.
Absolutely.
All right. So garlic is in there.
And now we're gonna go in with our peppers.
And some red pepper.
Some red pepper. Clear this. Because we clean as we go.
We clean as we go. I'll pack this away nicely for you at the back here. All right, so, and when it comes to this, you just want to kind of heat it. You don't want to cook it down, basically, because you still want that bit of a crunch on the peppers, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Then now we're going to go in with the tomatoes.
Oh, look at that. You see now. And can you imagine this going with mash? How amazing that would be.
So hearty, trust me. And go with the tomato paste.
And she has the biggest smile on her face as she says that. You can see that it's one of your favorites. It must be.
Yeah, it is.
There we go. All right. And this is such a lovely dinner, especially to make when it's cold.
Yes.
It'll literally one of those kind of hearty meals that will just warm you up from the inside.
And then now we're going to go in with all our seasonings.
Okay, so here goes the seasoning. So what do we have there?
We've got paprika and Cajun seasoning.
Okay, paprika and Cajun.
Yes.
All right.
And then
some salt and pepper. Look at you. So this is obviously according to taste, I suppose, right?
Definitely.
But you know already. She's like, this dish won't need anything else.
It's going to be so perfect. Then we're going to go in with our sauces.
Okay, what do we have there?
I've got Worcestershire sauce.
Okay. However you want to say it.
Yeah.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah, it's a very tricky word.
Worcestershire sauce, you know, it doesn't matter. I think people will get the gist of it.
And then we go with our barbecue sauce as well.
Ooh, nice. That's going to bring that umami through that goes with your meatballs. All right. I'll pop this away. Are you done with your spices?
Yes.
All right. Your flavors.
It smells so good. I don't know if you can feel it.
Oh, that's it. Especially when that Worcestershire sauce hits the pan and it starts heating up. It's something that I haven't, you don't use it. I don't use it a lot in cooking, but it really adds that kind of depth of flavor to it, right? Especially if you're working with things like meatballs. Okay, so how long do you cook that for now?
So you allow this to simmer for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Then once it's simmered, you're going to add in your red wine.
All right, just a little bit of red wine?
Just a little bit, not too much.
Yep. There we have it. Okay.
Simmer, then As soon as it's simmering, we're going to add back our meatballs and then allow it to cook on low heat.
Oh, I see. So that can really just infuse with the flavors. Now listen, if you would like to get your hands on this beautiful recipe by Tilivali this morning, and this is definitely, I mean, there's a lot of ingredients, but we've got it planned out just for you on our website, expressoshow.com. You can go there. And this is definitely, I urge you to go and make this particular dish because it really is such a treat, I think, for the whole family. And it's going to leave you feeling nice and full as well. Okay, so meatballs going in there.
Going back to the pot, and then we're going to allow this to cook just about 50 minutes.
Okay. So
Also
once
gonna
again,
add in our stock. Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as I put this in, I'm going to add in my stock, and then we leave it to simmer. So I'm just going to stir this so that it's fully incorporated with the sauce, and then we add in our stock.
All right, all right. So what stock do we have here?
So we have beef stock.
It's a beef stock.
So I always say that whenever you cook with beef, to use beef or lamb stock. It always just.
All right, well, thank you. Tilivali is here. We have another culinary hotline bling coming your way in just a bit. We're going to finish off this one, and then we're going to serve it with some delicious mash. We'll take you through exactly how we need to put that together. Stick around for that coming up.
Yep, Miss Magwena ain't going nowhere, and it means that we're making mash with mash, because she's meals with mash. We absolutely love it. So that's the next culinary installment this morning. Then we're going to help you survive these unbelievably turbulent financial times right now. How can you navigate South Africa's economy? We bring in the big guns for that. And then, of course, we've got Seth Gray going to be serenading us this morning. A little bit for me, mainly for you, so stick around.
Bake more memories and win big with a Taster SA and Royal Baking Powder. Watch the show every Tuesday evening at 7 and enter our competition by creating your unique own bake based on the weekly theme using Royal Baking Powder. Post it on the competition post on social media using #TheTastemasterSA and stand a chance of winning a KitchenAid stand mixer and more every week. Unleash your creativity with the Tastemaster SA and Royal Baking Powder.
We'll see you in the Tastemaster kitchen.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back. You're tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. It is a wonderful Wednesday. Now, for the vast majority of South Africans, achieving our dreams and aspirations have long been replaced with simply surviving. That is what we do. But what can be done to turn that surviving into thriving? And there is a way. Now, here to help answer that question is Dewpoint founder and senior executive Brendan Benfield. Brendan, it's wonderful to have you this morning, man.
Morning, Ewan. Morning.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. I think most of us South Africans, we watched a little video earlier, it says 90% of South Africans can't afford to retire, which is shocking. Worsening economic situations that we've seen over the past while. South Africans are struggling. Where do we even start? Does budget even play a role nowadays? Can South Africans actually afford to save?
Yeah, no, the question around budgeting, the answer is always, well, no. It makes no difference budgeting in South Africa today. We've got two major problems. We've got diminishing income, and we've got expenditure that's rising by near double digits every year. Just recently, 27th of June, 2023, Stats SA released a whole bunch of new data on the circumstances of South Africans, and them, with international analysts, are telling us that in every household, on average, there's only one earner. That one earner is earning 25,000 Rand on average, but that household cost on average is 32,000 Rand. That means there's a 7,000 to 10,000 Rand deficit every single month in the average household in South Africa.
Take that just over a span of 1 year. And see where you're at.
It puts you in a crazy situation. Budget or no budget, you don't get ahead of it.
That's the thing. I mean, we see people, you know, trying to reach and do multiple things outside of their main job. There's kids, there's schools, there's a lot going on. So budgeting, it really is a difficult situation out there. What options? Now, you in the financial sector, you know exactly what the landscape looks like. You've got the stats. What other options? Are there options available for people to earn rather than incur more debt?
In South Africa, we've got very limited options. If you go overseas, you've got a few more. But in South Africa, you've really got 4 ways of earning income. One is through a traditional job, and we know that traditional jobs are drying up at a rate of knots in South Africa. The second is what we call transactional income. Transactional income is where you're basically selling your time. Doctors, specialists, you can only sell as many hours as you can work. Or commission earners. When you're selling something, you're making some money. But in South Africa, there's less and less people buying. And then the third way is speculation. And sadly, a lot of people move towards speculation. It's crypto, forex trading, share trading,
which is
gambling.
Risky in itself, yeah.
Super risky, got no control over it, requires capital up front. But the solution that most of the world has been implementing over the last 4 decades is self-employment. Sounds complicated, but we're going to kind of break it down today and how we help with that.
100%. Now, we spoke about debt a little bit earlier on, and you know, with that deficit that we see in the monthly income for a single income household earner, the first step is to try and get more money, and you do that by incurring more debt. What's your advice here? How do we turn that around?
Yeah.
What's the first step?
Well, debt is a tricky thing. As we say, it actually exacerbates the situation. It makes things worse.
Good for the now, but
long term, you're dead. If you're taking out debt to buy things you don't need, you've got to stop. We're living in an economy where we're going to have to become more austere. But if you're in a situation, which a lot of South Africans are, where debt is how they survive, well, then you're going to have to start doing a few things. First of all, you've got to identify what put you in that position. 9 out of 10 times, it's a poor paying job. People say, but Brennan, I want a job. It's the job that puts you in that position. And then the second thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to start taking control of your income. South Africans haven't done that for many, many decades. They haven't had control of their income. We want to put people back into control of their income. That then gets you ahead of the curve and gets you ahead of your debt.
And that's where it is. It's not about, you know, driving those fancy cars and owning the big houses, knowing that you don't owe any of them. You know, you owe the banks and, you know, the kind of the lending agencies a lot of money. But I want to ask you, DewPoint, that is what we're focusing on this morning. Where does DewPoint fit into the whole picture here?
All right, well, now, DewPoint was formed nearly a decade ago. In fact, we celebrated our 8th birthday yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. The long journey to wealth. And what we did was we sat down and we addressed these issues. A decade ago, these were issues already in South Africa. And we said to ourselves, we have to design a system that gets rid of the things that stop people from becoming self-employed, stop people from taking control of their income, and design something that's going to give them access to that. And that is what we've done with DewPoint. It solves the debt problem. It solves the budgeting problem. But more importantly than anything, it puts people in a position where they can get ahead of their expenditure.
All right. Thank you very much for that. I mean, this is exciting. It sounds interesting, and I know that we didn't give too much away, but we still have 2 more segments coming up this morning, and we're going to be unpacking Dew Point just a little bit. But it comes down to choosing an income that you own and control. It is now available for the first time through Dew Point. It's time to replace fear of the future with courage of what you can make when you are in control. So what you can do right now, you can visit dewpoint.net today and learn a bit more. But don't go anywhere, because we will be back to continue this discussion with Brendan in just a moment. Stick around. For now, though, let's take a break. Let's have some music on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning.
I have dreams for my daughter. I want my daughter to be well educated. I want my daughter to be wealthy. I want my daughter to be happy. And through Dew Point, I can achieve all that. The more people I connect, the more my channel is growing, the more money I'm making, an asset. Then I can leave that for my kids. My kids will keep earning even when I'm gone.
Welcome back to Center Stage, and with us today on Expresso is South African R&B and neo-soul singer Seth Gray. And I want you to remember that name because he is on the verge of something big. Now, he grew up in a musical home and studied at both Stellenbosch and the Cape Music Institute, so he's proven his chops, and he's been a backing vocalist for artists like Craig Lucas, Jimmy Nevis, Emo Adams, just to name a few. And now he has an upcoming collaboration with Afrikaans hip-hop superstar Jits Finger, as well as the release of his first solo EP, and that's happening on the 25th of August. Dude, you've been busy.
I've been busy.
Welcome, my friend. So good to connect with you at what feels like a coming of age.
Yes, definitely.
What was that tipping point? Did you just get to a point where there was just too much creativity in you? You had to let it out? Because you've been in this space for a while. Yeah. Why solo now?
I think I was just waiting, watching from the backing vocal stage, and you were just like, I want to be in front. I want to be the one there. I had songs waiting, and I didn't really believe in them. And then I've gotten the people around me to be like, Seth, those songs are good, put them out. So now that's the time that I'm just like, okay, let's release it into the world.
It's your little baby. You're going to put your little baby
in the
world,
definitely.
And it's going to grow.
Hopefully.
What was that like being center stage and having to be that guy to make those executive decisions, to inform that? How much did you have to lean on the knowledge base that you've had? Because you've been working hard at music for a long time.
Yeah, sometimes I was leaning a bit too much on that knowledge because it made you like a bit particular, like, oh, that's not right, that's not right. So I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And then sometimes you have to just let go and be like, it's ready. Put it out. That little bit of that's not perfect, that's what makes music music. So
and the ladies are nodding their heads like, yeah, please, just let it go, bro. Just let it go. That being said, you're going to be performing right now. Give us a bit of background. What are you going to perform for?
Yeah, so this song is my latest single, Live Your Life. I actually did this when I went to Joburg for the first time. I collaborated with a producer, Explosive DJ, and we made this beat in one day, and I wrote that song in one day, and then we were like, nah, Cape Town times Joburg, let's release it together. So yeah, that's what the
flow
song
is ready. Yeah. Well, my friend, thank you so much for bringing that here. We are so proud of where you are in your career, my friend.
Thanks, man.
The best parts are yet to come. But here he is with Live Your Life. Take it away.
Just hold me tight, you'll be alright. I know you've been waiting for him to come around and treat you right. But can't you see he's doing this despite you? He can handle you, you're so much you. They always say they want a baddie, treating you badly, Look at how he's treating you. Telling you where to go, telling you to change your clothes. No, no, he's too much, no. And I hope you find peace of mind. Don't be terrified, I'm on your side. You can live you'll be alright. Just live your life. Just live your life. Live your life. Just live your life. Live your life. Live your life. Just live your life. Live your life. Just hold me tight. You'll be alright. Just live your life. Just live your life. Just live your life. Live your life. Just live your life. Live your life. Just hold me tight. You'll be alright. Yeah. Just live your life. 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 Live your life. Live your life. Just hold me tight. You'll be alright.
Yes, you will be alright. You will be perfectly fine. Thank you for giving us a groove for the two-steppers out there. Thank you so much.
Slow, I'm a piano vibe.
Yeah, man, we love it, man. No, I think you're tapping into a couple of algorithms there that are going to work really, really well. New music, we are here for that. Tell us again, when does the EP drop and where can people get it?
25th of August. On my birthday, actually.
Aww.
So it feels like a really big coming of age. It's going to be on all platforms. I actually also want to promote my show that's also going to come up, but you'll hear a bit more about that.
Definitely, because he ain't going nowhere. Seth Gray is here to perform just for us, and that includes you as well. And there's a special guest stepping into studio to join him on the mic in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Love it. Thank you very much, Graham. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we continue our discussion with Brandon around how to build a wealthier future and some valuable advice heading your way. Trust me. And then we love our coffee on our Feel Good Breakfast Show, that is for sure. But we're going to delve a little bit deeper with Saskia and taking a look at the history and the origin of coffee. There's so much to share. We'll see you on the other side.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back to it. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on S3. And we are going to give you some very valuable information right now. Now, with less than 0.5% of South Africans saving money today, is saving even realistic for South Africans in 2023? And the times that we live in now, that is the question. Inflation rates and significant declining job opportunities means that few South Africans have any hope of being able to save. Now, this morning, DuPont founder and senior executive Brendan Benfield is back to talk about how everyone can become income savers in South Africa today. There is a way. Ben, lovely to have you back, my friend. Saving, it's a topic that comes up in many conversations, in many South African households. And when it comes to saving, we tend to think it's only the wealthy that can save. Is this a kind of a true statement, accurate statement, or can anybody actually start saving?
Ewan, the reality is actually at the moment only the wealthy are saving. There are so many circumstances economically that are playing against South Africans. It's making it impossible for them to save. 100 years ago, you could start a career, spend your whole life building that career, and because inflation was so flat and your cost of living was so low, you could save throughout your career and pension yourself at the end. That's an impossibility today. Jobs don't last lifetimes anymore, and inflation is so crazy you can't save anymore. The only way that you can now be considered wealthy and begin to save is if you control your own income.
Yeah, see, and that is the difficult part, because every single cent that we do own or do, that comes our way is there to plug another hole, or then you go about, you see it's not enough. We incur more debt. Now, for the average South Africans that would like to save, but they cannot. What are some of the options available?
Well, you're going to hear me saying it the whole morning. Control is the critical thing. What South Africans often think is if they can get a better job, they'll be able to save. But a better job still doesn't put you in control. When you have a job, somebody else tells you how much you're going to earn, whether you're going to get an increase, whether you're still hired the next day. People that sell their time, we were talking just right now, Ewan. When you sell your time, it's very limited and anything can derail it. You can get sick, a car accident, COVID can strike. You don't have control over your income. If you want to start saving, you've got to make some decisions about stepping away from what you know and into something that gives you the ability to get ahead of your expenditure.
It's quite funny the way you say control, because it is actually just that. You need to take control, because we do see that. It's like, if only I can get a job that pays better. You're going to get that job that pays better, but it's almost automatic if you don't have the control that your lifestyle adjusts to what you are earning. And at the end of the day, you'll be at the same position where you were 5 months ago.
Absolutely.
And that is a tough one. It's a tricky one. But South Africans, most of them, we just want a job. All right. But what can we do? We don't necessarily have the necessary skill set or the opportunities. And I think that's also a massive problem facing South Africans.
People are afraid. When we tell them you've got to get self-employed if you're going to get in control of your income, they get terrified, because naturally there's a whole lot of risks, cost, expertise, bureaucracy, all of these sorts of things that keep people away from becoming self-employed. In South Africa today, it's statistically impossible to succeed at a small or medium-sized business. So many fail. So we had to sit down 10 years ago and work out how to solve this for South Africans. And that's what we did. We've removed at Dew Point the main stumbling blocks, the main hurdles towards getting South Africans self-employed and in control of their income again. The only cost now at Dew Point to become self-employed, the risk you take, is your time and your effort. Those are what we ask of you. But we give you control, something you just don't get in a job, no matter how good the job.
Yeah, you see, you speak about becoming a wealth engineer with Dew Point. Now, please unpack that for us. How can the average South African become a wealth engineer? Because we tend to think that wealth is only for the wealthy.
Yeah, well, a wealth engineer is just the term that we give to South Africans that contract with us and start to build their income with us. By becoming a wealth at Dew Point, you've got this tool that we've created, you've plugged into a system that now helps you to build an income with us in our business. And this, in effect, gives you that self-employment control. It builds for you an asset, and all of a sudden, you're starting to break the poverty cycle in your life and the life of your family, because what you build with us will be handed to your spouse and your children when you pass away one day, and they'll be able to build on what you built with us. That's why we called you a wealth engineer. You're actually building, which you were never doing with your traditional job. You were never doing when you were selling your time, and you certainly weren't doing when you were speculating.
Now, look, I know people might be listening and think like, okay, but hang on a minute, this is not something that you step into and all of a sudden you see those things. It's a process, as I understand. What is the average process of something like this once contracting and signing up with Dew Point?
All right, well, it's easy enough to join with us. Just talk to one of the tens of thousands of wealth engineers around the country at the moment, or alternatively, jump onto our website, www.dewpoint.net, and it'll be able to get you plugged in and you'll be able to start with us. We have a comprehensive training program where we take you from step one, I've never done anything like this before, all the way through to an absolute expert. Our training is world-class. We always joke about this. The reason we say it's world-class, because we've actually seen our training being used overseas to train people. You get that all included in your system with us at Dew Point. You don't have to be worried that you don't have the expertise. It's one of the hurdles we removed with Dew Point.
So you just got to take that first step, Brendan. Thank you very much. Now, with their primary objective to offer South Africans an affordable opportunity to build a real income for themselves, Dew Point is offering a genuine and viable alternative to traditional employment for South Africans who want that economic future of their own design. Now, if, you can visit Dew Point, like Brendan said, dewpoint.net today to learn more and become a wealth engineer to take back control of your income today. We'll be right back. Don't get anywhere. We've got lots more to get through with Brendan.
Mense vandag na hulle eie situasies kyk, dan besef hulle, as jy tyd het, het jy nie geld nie, en as jy geld het, het jy nie tyd nie. Hierdie besigheid bied vir my die geleentheid om tyd en geld gelyk saam met my familie te hê en die belangrike dinge in die lewe te kan doen. Elke persoon kan aangryp en kan gebruik om sy eie besigheidsgeleentheid te begin.
I got to say thank you so much, gentlemen. That conversation has actually reframed this particular conundrum we put to you. And you can see Ewan just wondering what would life would be like if he didn't have to be Superman every day and fly off to save all of our lives. No, this is the question we put to you. If money or salary wasn't an issue, what job do you think you would have today? And maybe this is where we need to start, is with reframing the conversation. And Linda Yobert said, good morning, family, without a doubt, a medical doctor. It's a field that with knowledge and empathy for patients, you really can make a difference. Here, go for it, Linda, go for it. Tulasila saying, good morning, family. I would be an air hostess. What is stopping you, Tulasila? Charlene saying, actor and producer. That's a step away, girl. It's easier than you think to start an acting career right now. Letitia saying, investigative journalist like Ray de Leon. I love that. Leon saying, an actor or an astronaut. Natural link there. I think every one of us at some point has dreamt of being either one of those things. Ingrid Kathy saying, I would be a geologist, a soil scientist with a sad face. Why don't you go for it? I think the shift here, what we are feeling in our space, is the shift from purpose to calling, to your job, not the other way around. You don't work to free yourself to discover your purpose. Think about what it is that you need to be doing and start with that. It's amazing how the rest falls into place. We're going to have some amazing financial advice coming your way on how you can turn yourself into that one-man company, that one-woman show where you're building income, an engineer of your own wealth. So stick around for that. But right now, let's get back into our duties, our actual job, get into those news and sporting headlines. Then we kick off into, or at least we're going to launch into the final hour of the show, and there is a lot to come.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, for now, though, if you've always wanted a PlayStation, maybe an iMac, a MacBook, or even a VR headset, then now might be your lucky chance. OctaFX, South Africa's most reliable trading platform, is turning 12, and to celebrate their birthday, they are giving you the chance to win some of these epic prizes. Now, the contest has officially started, and the competition is open to both new and existing users. So if you don't have an account, just download the OctaFX app and register an account. Now, to enter, all you have to do is trade at least 2 lots from today until the 14th of August. 2 lots equals 1 ticket. So the more lots you, of course, trade, the more tickets you get, and the better your chances of winning one of those awesome prizes. So whether you are an experienced trader or have always been just interested in getting started, there really is no better platform than OctaFX. The platform provides awesome, easy to understand and educational materials that will help give you the confidence to trade like a pro. So don't wait any longer, because now is your chance. Go out there and good luck.
I might have just found someone who loves coffee even more than me, and she definitely knows more about it than I do. From our Jacobs family, Saskia Lovell is here. I'm going to cheers you. I don't know if you cheers with a coffee cup, but I'm going to do it. Saskia very kindly has come to educate us on the history of coffee. This is a special one that, of course, we are helping you to free yourself financially, to become an engineer of your own wealth. We'll see you on the other side. I'm going to cheers you again just because I love coffee that much.
It's my feel good show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. It's all about the financials this morning, and we are back with Brendan Benfield for the last time, appreciating the stark reality of living in South Africa. We're talking about solutions that any South African can apply, how owning your own financial freedom can be a reality. And Brendan, you gave us some incredible insights, but now let's get down to it. Dewpoint, people can go there, check it out, dewpoint.net. How does it all exactly work? How can people earn a sustainable income from Dewpoint? How does it work?
How does it work?
Paint the picture for us
that's
here.
Right. What are the brass tacks in this thing?
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned to you just a second ago, this Dewpoint was designed by South Africans in South Africa, understanding the South African circumstances of individuals. So we had that in mind as we built it. We're an insurance business. We work in the financial services segment of the economy. And in that segment, insurance companies build assets, portfolios of individuals who buy insurance products and services, pay for them every month via debit order. So we go back to the same people each month to sell to them again. Our products don't wear out, they're not used up, and most of our products are there for life, which means that once we have it our product, they pay us as the insurance business for decades afterwards. What we did with Dewpoint is we built a portal into which you as a South African can join us in this market. You're able to create an asset with us at Dewpoint, one that produces a monthly recurring income, one that lasts your whole lifetime, and is ultimately transferred to your wife and your children and your grandchildren, etc., after that, because it's an asset. Having an asset puts you back in control, which is what we've been talking about this morning. And you decide how big this asset is. Your time, your effort, years, decades of working on it dictates what your income is with us.
And I mean, this is something that you can do pretty much then from anywhere, I suppose.
24 hours a day, anywhere in the country. It's fully online. Everything that you need, you'll find online with us. It means you've got no limitations. You're completely able to leverage yourself. When you've got a traditional job, you know you're earning in the hours you're working. If you're selling your time as a professional, you only have so many hours in a day to sell. But with us at Dewpoint, you're able to build an income across any hour of the day, any day of the week, anywhere in the country.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people might be listening and saying like, well, this sounds interesting. Could it be too good to be true? Because we know out there's so many different other things out there for people wanting to kind of explore different options of creating an income. How is Dewpoint different?
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of fundamental differences from all of it. I think the key thing to remember is that we're South African homegrown. You can go find our offices up in Joburg. You can find our licenses online. I think there's no less than about 9 regulators that look after our business. But really the key difference for us is that we believe, and I think it's a factual statement, that we're the only asset-based, monthly recurring income creation system in the country today that doesn't require you to speculate, Forex and all of that sort of stuff, crypto. It doesn't require capital up front from you, not pouring in money to get on top of it.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's 24 hours a day online. It means anybody can do it, of all walks of life in South Africa, from every corner of the country.
Now, earlier on this morning, you mentioned that you have got thousands of people, you know, that became their own wealth engineers. Firstly, how many? What's the stats?
Well, there's tens of thousands. As I said to you, I think 127,000 wealth engineers have now joined us across South Africa. So you can find tens of thousands of them out there.
Yeah. What are some of the success stories? I mean, if you could highlight one or two, just to give us an idea, an example.
Because there's so many wealth engineers out there, it's actually unfair of me to promote just one or two of them. So what I'm going to basically do is encourage the viewers to jump onto our YouTube channel or our Facebook page, and you'll find hundreds of videos we've made of the thousands of people who have changed their lives. Again, all walks of life. You're going to find people who are from the poorest ends of South Africa through to the wealthiest. You're going to find people who are completely unskilled through to people who are very skilled. Dewpoint is not for a certain segment of the economy. It's for every South African. It puts control back in everybody's hands. A couple of the stories that we've had, though, we've had a lady who's now turned 70 that earns more in a month now than she did in an entire year at the peak of her career. We have a young lady who's got 3 children, she's in her 20s, who in the period of 18 months has gone from being in a debt review to now owning her own house, buying her own car, having cleared off all of her debt, and having cleared that whole debt review process right out. That's just incredible. 2 examples. And there's thousands of them at Dewpoint. But what we require from you, what we always say, is your time and your energy. This is not a get rich quick. It's not a quick fix. It is an opportunity for you to build a new career, one that you're in control of, one that builds an asset, not just a monthly salary.
That is what we are aiming for, to be in control of our situations and to build that assets, because I think that is vital, especially for South Africans. Just quickly, for those people who caught the tail end of this conversation, where can we go find out more info? What should we do?
All right, super easy. Again, find a wealth engineer that you know around the country. They'll get you plugged in. Alternatively, onto our website, www.dewpoint.net. You'll be able to get started from there and do all the training. Jump onto our Facebook and YouTube channels as well for more information. But most importantly, every Tuesday night at 6:30, we do a live stream on our Facebook page where we do a full hour of every detail introducing you to Dewpoint with a live Q&A at the end every single Tuesday at 6:30. So you can ask all of your questions to us and we'll answer them for you straight away during that presentation.
Brendan, I'm inspired this morning. I'm going to shake your hand. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, Ewan.
Really appreciate that, and I really do hope that it sparked a bit of a light bulb moment for some of you out there. Again, thank you very much to Brendan for helping us better understand the country we live in, our economic realities, and what Dewpoint is doing to offer solutions to South Africans. So what you can do, just to reiterate, visit Dewpoint today, dewpoint.net, to learn more about how to take back the control of your income, create an asset that is your own, and determine a different future for yourself and your loved ones.
I have dreams for my daughter. I want my daughter to be well educated. I want my daughter to be wealthy. I want my daughter to be happy. And through Dewpoint, I can achieve all that. The more people I connect, the more my channel is growing, the more money I'm making, an asset. Then I can leave that for my kids. My kids will keep earning even when I'm gone.
It is exactly 2 minutes to the top of the hour before we enter into the final hour of the show. Let's fly through those news headlines. Let's start here in South Africa, where the 8 police officers accused of violently assaulting 3 members of the SANDF on the N1 highway in Johannesburg last month have now been granted bail of 10,000 rand each in the Randburg Magistrates Court. They are part of Deputy President Paul Mashatile's VIP Protection Services unit and are being charged with pointing a firearm, damage to property, assault, reckless and negligent driving, and attempting to defeat the ends of justice. And a motorist captured the incident on camera, the footage obviously having gone viral across the world. Now, International Relations and Cooperation Minister Dr. Naledi Pandor yesterday hosted her Japanese counterpart, Yoshimasa Hayashi. Now, the 2 ministers held consultations focusing on various bilateral and multilateral issues of mutual interest. Japan is a major investor with some 90 billion rand injected into the South African economy. The East Asian country also has a presence of 273 companies, sustaining over 200,000 local job opportunities. Pandor also called on Japan as chairperson of the G7 countries to persuade the group's leaders to launch a peace process to end the war in Ukraine. Now, with that international connection, let's move to our international headlines. And Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has fleshed out the details of a raft of measures to tackle the rising cost of living, which has prompted civil unrest and looting right now. Tinubu said he had ordered the release of 200,000 tons of grain from strategic reserves and also pledged to increase the minimum wage, encourage more and better paid jobs, and financial help for the farming, manufacturing, and smaller business sectors. Tinubu added that he understood the difficulties people faced, but defended his recent scrapping of a fuel subsidy, saying it had saved Nigeria some $1.3 billion in the process. Now, heartbreaking news. At least 11 people have died and 13 others are missing in torrential rains in Beijing as China braces for the 3rd typhoon in as many weeks. Now, the remnants of last week's superstorm named Doksuri flooded Beijing for the 4th straight day yesterday, even as another typhoon approached the eastern coast. Ready to make landfall, China has been seeing extreme heat rain in recent weeks, which scientists have linked to climate change. And in Iran, 2 emergency holidays have been declared due to unprecedented heat of above 50 degrees Celsius in some places, just to balance out that equation. Climate change indeed. Now, on the positive side, let's flip to this story finally. And some much-needed health services are being brought closer to the farming and peri-urban areas of the Western Cape through a multi-million rand mobile clinic launched by the wonderful University of the Western Cape, or UWC as they're known. The state-of-the-art mobile clinic will be a win-win situation, as it will also afford students the opportunity to receive training in a community setting where it's needed most, while reaching those far-flung areas and communities which struggle to access health services. This project is one of many outreach programs run from UWC last year. They also officially opened the doors to its brand new mobile dental clinic, and that serves underprivileged communities as well. Keep fighting the good fight, UWC. We absolutely love to see that kind of effect within our communities. Well, that being said, that's a wrap of our news headlines. Let's tail end those sporting headlines now with you, Anne.
Thank you very much, Graham. Let's take a quick look at your sporting news for the last time this morning, starting off with football. Now, the Netherlands showcased an outstanding performance, thrashing Vietnam 7-0 and advancing to the last 16 as group leaders. Ismay Bruchts and Jill Ruet both netted twice, setting a tournament record. Meanwhile, the United States encountered a nail-biting moment, settling for a goalless draw against Portugal in their Women's World Cup clash. Now, Portugal's spirited debut nearly led to a stunning upset at Eden Park. USA, though, on the other side, secured the second spot in Group E with the draw. And staying with football this morning, Banyana coach Desiree Ellis is keeping a close eye on captain Refilo Jane's fitness for their vital FIFA Women's World Cup encounter against Italy in Wellington. It's going to be a big game. Now, Jane sustained an injury in the Group G game against Argentina, resulting in a 2-2 draw at Dunedin Stadium. Now, with her experience, though, in Italian football from playing for AC Milan and Sassuolo since 2019, her knowledge could be a huge asset for her team. Now, that match kicks off at 9 a.m. today. Then in cricket news this morning, Indian fast bowler Jasprit Bumrah has recovered from his back injury and will lead the squad in the 3-match T20I series against Ireland. Now, Bumrah's return to form clears the way for him to participate in the upcoming ODI World Cup in India in October. Now, the 3 ODIs will be held on the 18th, the 20th and the 23rd of August in Dublin, with India also competing in the Asia Cup from the 30th of August to the 17th of September. And then some rugby news this morning in Buenos Aires. This Saturday, the Springbok team faces Argentina with 13 changes from their previous narrow victory at Ellis Park. Now, newcomer Gerard Steenkamp features on the bench, while Bongi Mbonambi will lead the squad for the very first time. Now, absent regular captain Siya Kolisi is still recovering from that knee surgery, leaving Mbonambi in charge for his 60th cap. Now, the match kicks off at 10 past midnight, an early one on Sunday morning. So set those alarms, of course, marking the box inaugural warm-up clash ahead of the World Cup against Argentina. And that's a wrap for your sporting headlines on this Wednesday morning. Let's quickly take a look at what is happening out on the road, so we'll focus on the weather as well.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Let's start our traffic report down in the mother city in Cape Town. There's been an accident, sadly, on the N1 inbound at Wingfield Interchange. The right lane is closed. Please expect delays there. And then moving up north to Meyerton in Gauteng, there's heavy mist on the R59 north and south from Vereeniging all the way to Meyerton. You can see those visuals speaking 1,000 words there. Just please maintain safe traveling distances and switch on your headlights. Let's get into the weather. So approaching some weather news first, with one of the wettest winters in decades now in full swing. The latest weekly dam statistics released yesterday showed Cape Town dams were full to the brim. Wow, we haven't said that in a while. And with the heavy snowfalls that have occurred during the past weekend and snow melt still to come, they're going to receive even more water. Tewaterskloof, the mother city's largest supplying dam, has been overflowing for the past 3 weeks. Meanwhile, the SA Weather Service warns of significantly reduced visibility due to fog and resulting in difficult driving conditions in places. And that's over the southern and eastern or southeastern parts of Gauteng, as we've just reported, the escarpment and southern highveld of Mpumalanga, as well as the eastern and central parts of the Limpopo province. Morning fog patches will also occur in the east and northwest province and then the eastern parts of the Free State. Just please be careful. All right, let's get into some of your temperatures for the day, seeing as it is a bit of a chilly one. Let's start up in Polokwane. Your low 3 going up to 17 degrees today. Mbombela ranging between 10 and 21. Pretoria 4 and 17. Johannesburg chilly start 3 going up to 16. Mahikeng similar 3 to 19 today. Klerksdorp, you kick your day off on 1 degree going up to 20. Kimberley 2 and 19 is your range for the day. Bloemfontein chilly start again -3, but you do go up to an 18-degree thaw out. Richards Bay ranging between 11 and 21. Pietermaritzburg 5 and 20. Moving to Durbs, ranging between 12 and 21 today. Mthatha 2 and 22. Moving to East London, 12 going up to 21 degrees. Craddock ranging between 1 and 20. Gqeberha 7 is your low, going up to 20. George 9 and 20 your range. Moving to the mother city, slightly more and warming up a little, 9 your low, going up to 20. Then Worcester 9 and 20 as well. Moving inland, Sutherland, your low 5 going up to 15, and a very balmy day for Uppington by your usual standards. 11 is your low. It's normally your high, going up to 24. So thank you so much. I'm going to say to everyone who helped us wake up in this way, now that we're done with our temperatures, let's see what the world looks like in your neck of the woods. And thank you so much to Arusha in Centurion. She stepped outside to head out to the shops. What a view. And Shakira in GQ watching the sun between the clouds. Stunning one. Look at that. Then moving up north to Boksburg, Charmaine in her garden. Look at that. You can feel how cold it is this morning. Absolutely beautiful view. It almost looks like the snow should be there. Thank you for that one. Some stunning pinks. And then one of our favorites in the OG, Nancy Govender, as she does, just making us so jealous as we get those holiday feels from her beach, and I'm going to call it her beach in Pennington. She takes ownership every morning with her walk, and we are here for that. Thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing your gorgeous view. Likewise, all of you. Keep them coming. We'd love to see how you wake up tomorrow. Share those views on 063 408 863, but don't step outside to take any photos just yet. We've still got an hour of the show to get through.
A whole hour, my friends. Stick around. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we are going to shine that spotlight on coffee. We're going to delve into a little bit of history as well and find out where the first ever cup of coffee was made. Is it even possible to figure that out? But we have the experts in studio. Stick around for that. And what do you do with your leftover coffee grinds? Don't just throw it away. No, because we've got some epic hacks for you that you can do with that. From everything from making your shoes smell nice, from having your plants grow better. We'll show you all of that and more after the break.
Welcome back. It's coffee time. Yes, I am this excited with good reason. We're talking about coffee, and coffee is undoubtedly one of the world's most loved beverages. I'm going to say one of our most valuable resources. Many of us can't start our day without it or continue our day without it. But have you ever wondered who was the first person to ever enjoy a warm cup of coffee? Whoever that was, thank you. Well, here to tell us the fascinating history of coffee is Saskia Lovell, the shopper, marketing and sales strategy manager for one of our favorites, Jacobs South Africa.
Good morning, Graham. Good morning, viewers.
You've dethroned me. I thought I was the most coffee-focused person in the world, and I take a lot of flack for it on set because I just love my coffee. But I think you might love your coffee a little bit more.
Yes, I do.
I love it. So let's talk about the origin, because it's something that is so much a part of our lives. I don't think many of us stop to think about where this first began. Take us back to the beginning, or at least what we know about the origins of coffee.
Yes, so as legend has it, coffee was actually first discovered by an Ethiopian goat farmer in the 9th century.
An Ethiopian?
Yes.
Yeehaw! Thank
Upon
you.
eating the beans, these goats just became so energetic that they couldn't sleep at night.
Oh my
But it was only really cultivated at first in the 15th century in Yemen. And then by the 17th century, it's actually made its way across Europe and replaced the common breakfast beverage of the time, hear me out, wine and beer. Okay.
I know a lot of people are going like, listen, I've had a lot of breakfasts up north in the UK. I can understand that. I can get it.
And they formed these schools of the wise, these coffee houses, because they said that wine and beer dulls the mind and coffee makes you think.
For
That's right.
sure.
So yeah, and then, I mean, by now coffee is available over the world. And did you know that every single day about 2.25 billion cups of coffee are consumed?
I can get that. That actually, I would think that's
Every
a
day.
low estimate. And we've seen certain, and I would imagine that landscape is changing, but certain countries seem to have a knack for it. We seem to associate coffees with a lot of South American countries. I want to think Brazil, I want to think Costa Rica, places like that, but right across the Latin Americas, we know amazing coffees. Who makes the best coffee?
Well,
is that a rude question to ask?
I don't know about the best, but definitely Brazil is the biggest coffee producing country there is. They account for about 35% of the world's production.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, followed by Vietnam, actually, and then after that's Colombia. But I mean, there's many other countries all growing on the coffee belt, and you'll hear all these names when you look at the single origins coffee.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, Brazil's the biggest, and I mean, it's subject to so many fluctuations, you know, weather patterns, drought,
For sure.
frost, all these things impact the coffee production. And coffee is actually the second largest traded commodity after petroleum.
I can really understand that, because
Yeah.
it's a common thread across all kind of socio-economic brackets. It kind of speaks to everybody, the lived human experience. And I love the fact Brazil, because they've got now a very green and natural thrust there in terms of what they're doing with their landscape, I can imagine that's only going to boom further. I love the fact also, when you talk about single origin, that we're getting into the journey of each farm, the nuances of each little piece of terrain. I love that. It's such a nuanced process. Is making coffee simple?
Oh,
Take
no.
us from
Not at
bean
all.
to here. What does that look like, that journey?
It's a lengthy process, let me tell you, and it's a very intricate process. I mean,
I took a
from,
sip just for that.
from having the seed, right, you then plant the seed, that seed has to germinate.
Okay.
Then that has to go into a nursery until you get a plant, and then it has to go into a coffee plantation. It takes 4 to 6 years for that plantation to yield its first fruit. So the coffee bean is actually in a berry or a cherry on the tree. Then you have to wait till it's ripe, then you can pick the cherries. Then you can either wash them in the cherry, there's 2 types of washing, or you will first pulp them out of the cherry and then wash them, one of the 2 types. Then you have to dry them. Then you have to sort the good ones from the bad ones. Then you have to pack them. Then you have to transport them. And then you still only have green coffee beans, which is of no use. It's only when you roast them that the flavor comes out, and you get different types of roasting. And then you grind them, and then only you've got ground coffee. And then to get to instant coffee is still a further process after that. So it really is a lengthy process and very intricate.
Very nuanced, and we love the nuance because that speaks to the flavor and the quality of the coffee that we get, and a range of accessibility to high-end coffees as well. And I think that's where Jacobs has found the balance. There is something in the process when you think about how long this is to maintain the integrity and the quality and the flavor requires very decisive action at a particular point, I would imagine.
Yes, 100%.
The freeze drying and the fact that you are able to boast that this is 100% coffee in a granular form is amazing to me, because that kind of is the longest production process.
Yes.
How are you able to retain that level of purity and quality through that process?
So all coffee is not equal,
Exactly.
definitely not. And yes, our coffee, 100% coming from coffee beans, so no chicory root in our coffee. And freeze drying really is a 3-step process where the liquidized coffee gets frozen in a freezer at -40 degrees, okay? Then goes into an oven and the steam gets evaporated, which means that that flavor and aroma is locked. It's frozen into
It's
each
like a
granule.
little time capsule. I love
Yes,
that.
and then as you add the hot water, the aromas and the rich flavors is released, where the process of spray drying doesn't quite lock the flavor in as good as freeze drying. So it really gives you a more quality, higher premium cup of coffee.
I suppose the one is kind of reverse engineered to get you to the same kind of physical end result. The other is all about the integrity of the quality and the flavor.
Yes,
I never thought that I'd get goosebumps sitting talking about freeze-dried coffee, but it's amazing to me. It's kind of alchemy, what you're able to achieve. And on behalf of all of the farmers and those producing this amazing coffee, thank you for maintaining that integrity. Oh, stick around, Saskia. If you haven't filled up your coffee yet, then what are you waiting for? Saskia is going to be back to chat all about coffee occasions and how we can change up our coffee game to suit every mood, every occasion, and yes, every coffee drinker.
Making a cappuccino with thick, creamy froth is now impressively easy.
Now, look, we are not done with coffee just yet. I told you we're going to be shining that spotlight on coffee this morning. And coffee really is a wonder bean and has proven to yield many benefits. And even after your cup of coffee has been made, I mean, we're talking here from clearing odors to body scrubs. It does it all. Let's get into it, buddy.
Oh, buddy, I'm here for some tips, my friend. If there is another way that I can incorporate coffee into my life.
Let's go to the garden first and foremost.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, the first hack that we're going to be doing, I mean, coffee, it really is a natural fertilizer. It is great to become, you know, to add to your organic material to the soil, which improves the drainage, the water retention, and the aeration in the soil. And all you need is your coffee grounds, some water and a watering can. So what you do is you simply mix a few tablespoons into the water. So what that you can do, so you got, there we go, mix that into the water with some water and then kind of pour it over your plants once a month.
Am I putting it in here?
In there, let's do it.
Brilliant. I love this because I always think it always feels like such a waste. You've got all this beautiful organic material.
That's it.
Let's give 3 here.
Perfect.
I love that. I wonder if the plants feel it as well, if they kind of feel the little zing, the pick-me-up. Beautiful.
Must chat to them and find out.
I listen, but you think I don't talk to my plants.
And that's it, just like so. Swirl it a bit around, get it mixed. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Just like that. And look at the plant, listen carefully, it is smiling.
It's singing. No, it's actually singing.
Yeah. You can hear that.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
basically,
I love that.
Yeah, in the same vein, coffee grounds as an insect repellent. I mean, how's that? Did you know about that? Because coffee also makes that great insect repellent. Now, if you are having issues with bugs, especially mosquitoes, I mean, coffee beans and grounds are the trick. Now, if you're hanging out outside with your mates, maybe having a bit of a braai, whatever the case may be on those hot summer evenings, which we are looking forward to, simply sprinkle some coffee grounds just around where you are sitting to help keep the bugs away. Or if you are having trouble with bugs in your plants, we all do, right? Simply sprinkle them in the soil and prevent the bugs like fungus gnats and mealy bugs from laying their eggs. So this is just your leftover coffee grounds that you have like this.
And just sprinkle. I suppose the joy is that it is a completely organic, natural additive that you're putting onto the soil there. It's going to break down in that organic way, which is absolutely
now it's
beautiful.
singing even louder.
Oh, now it's like an operatic song. I absolutely love it.
Here's another interesting one. We've all heard of that tea bag trick for smelly shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It absorbs the smell.
But we have something even better for you this morning. So all you need are some fabric bags, just like these ones over here, or empty tea bags if you want. And you're going to fill it with your coffee beans and put it in your shoes, just like that.
Like that?
Bum, 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 bum. I'll do one for now. Look at my skill here.
Oh, no, that's really, really impressive.
Very cool.
You could like give these as cute little homemade presents, or I suppose it's a bit insulting to give someone like, here we go.
Well,
your shoes. No, that's absolutely amazing. Now, literally, I can smell like coffee from head to toe.
Yeah, and I mean, who doesn't love coffee But I think it's a great hack.
That's very clever, yeah.
Especially, long day at work, it was hot. You want to just make sure that you're fresh for the next morning and be inspired to drink a cup of coffee. You're going to smell
I think
this in the
our
morning,
studio
which is gonna be-
shoes, our studio wardrobe department is now going to smell like coffee. I love
but
that.
I mean, this
Brilliant.
is beautiful. I mean, the odor. I mean, just smell that, dude. Come on.
Oh, you know that is my happy place, though.
That's
the
your
coffee.
happy place, indeed.
Brilliant.
Another one we have for you, a room deodorizer. Yeah, definitely. I mean, who doesn't want the smell of coffee permeating?
It normally is in my house, but I like this.
But listen to this one, because it will also look cool, all right? So all you will need for this hack is a decorative bowl, your beans, and a tea light candle.
All
so
right.
there you have everything right there. So simply what you do is you pour your beans into your tea light, into the little holder there with your tea light candle inside. And now you can place this in bathrooms and family rooms or wherever you are expecting guests for that fresh cup of coffee smell.
I love that.
So that heat will, of course, now just release a little bit of that flavor.
I suppose because there's oils in these coffee beans that are going to start to break down. It's going to release.
How cool is that?
That is beautiful.
Very,
I'm going to put these
very
all
cool.
over my house. I love the fact, because I do feel like, especially when you're grinding your own coffee, that you are wasting so much really valuable organic material.
I always feel
it.
bad when you have ground coffee like this and you kind of empty it out in the bin.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
you can really use it much better.
Because
I mean,
that all ends up on landfills and things like that. I love this notion. Start your own coffee refinery for the next phase of the process. Brilliant.
And like you said, it's organic, which is great. You know exactly what it is. No funny business here. So there are a couple of hacks for you. Go out and try them. And if you do, let us know how it worked for you.
Brilliant. All right, we're going to have a little bit of fun after the break. Seth Gray is here to perform once more for you, and we're going to continue this incredible journey of coffee. Saskia has given us the origins, or the legends around the origins of coffee. It's amazing that it has still got the world mesmerized, and we are here for that. So we're going to continue our coffee journey after this. Oh, no, it's not one.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back, all coffee lovers, and I think we all do love coffee. Well, certainly in our space, and we have our regular orders. But have you ever tried switching it up and enjoying your coffee in a different way to suit your mood or setting? I think we do this every day. Well, Saskia Lovell from Jacobs joins us again to help us elevate our coffee game with some new coffee occasions inspiration.
I like that. Coffee occasion. Talk to me about this concept. What does it mean to you?
I mean, coffee is such a personal thing, and we've got needs and desires every day that we want fulfilled, and coffee just fulfills so many of them. I mean, we drink coffee to wake up in the morning. We have coffee at work to to draw inspiration from when we have our meetings.
With friends, come over for coffee.
Connecting with friends, you know, going out for a date.
It is the social drink.
It
for the
definitely
daytime.
is. And I mean, it's even for me time when I just want to relax and read a book and be by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm cold and I want to warm up, when I'm hot and I want to indulge in refreshment, you can have your iced coffee. I mean, after dinner treat, there's just so many occasions. And I mean, coffee just really is that special that it can fulfill so many needs. And it does every single day.
There's something in this about being conscious about that as opposed to just letting it happen, because we do it unconsciously, and our world is very real time, punctuated by stop, start, stop, start. So my coffee becomes essential to reset, let go, move on. But you forget that that can become a function of your day. How do people weave these kind of coffee, or how could they weave these coffee occasions into their life in a positive way? Because this is a great opportunity.
I mean, for me, during the day, you've got different times that you will need coffee in different ways. Like
Your lulls.
Yes, like I drink an espresso shot before I go to gym.
It's
Right?
a great pre-workout.
I mean, it's a great pre-workout. And then a lot of people that say, you know, I can't have too much coffee a day, or I'm sensitive to coffee, you can have decaf coffee. I mean, that's still a way in which you can connect and enjoy your coffee without the caffeine. So whether you want the caffeine or don't want the caffeine, whether you want black coffee or whether you want a milky, indulgent coffee drink, there's that as well. Whether you want it hot or you want it cold. I mean, even throwing an espresso shot over your ice cream, or having it in a mocktail with some tonic water.
We made a lovely drink like that.
I mean-
Completely. Or for me, or maybe a nice flavored frothy cappuccino
of course.
as a dessert reward.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Late afternoon treat or post-dinner, or we can even wake up with a cappuccino. wouldn't you?
It's been a while since I've seen anybody so excited around coffee, which is inspiring. But what does your day look like? Like when you start your day with regards to coffee? Because I feel I drink way too much.
Yeah. Should we even ask?
Yeah.
You can never drink too much coffee. I own a filter coffee machine, a bean to cup machine, a capsule machine, and a kettle, because we've got load shedding in South Africa. So a gas
entire
stove.
room dedicated to your
You know,
coffee.
if it's load shedding, you need to
So
have
you're
your
just
coffee.
a normal South African then, is what you're saying. Yeah.
So I have black coffee with a rusk when I wake up.
Okay.
And then during the day, I'll have a milky coffee or black. I interchange between them.
Depends on how the mood
It
strikes.
depends. Like I said, I always have a shot of espresso before my gym. I enjoy a cappuccino as a treat, either late in the day or when I go out with a friend or when I travel. Okay. I sometimes even like a chai, dirty chai, which is some chai powder in my coffee. And then post-dinner, I normally have my decaf coffee, just because by then I'm already on coffee number
you have
8
to.
or 10. Because I have to, yes.
I love that, buddy. It just makes me think, because like we always joke about these little mini moments that we have throughout the show and how awesome it is that we get to punctuate, but it becomes the breathing room in our kind of crazy, fast-paced
It's just to take a moment. It really is for me just to take a moment. Yeah, because we live these fast-paced lives, and somewhere along the line, we need to just take a moment and settle down and have a cup of coffee. But for me, I do feel that I'm quite boring with my coffees, because I like my coffee just plain and black.
Well, with a little marshmallow, and you've
I'm getting there. But I do treat myself. I love a strong black coffee with a marshmallow. A pink or a white one, I don't care. And then when I go on bike trips, you spoke about
I think they taste the same.
Yeah. No, they don't. They don't. They don't. They melt differently. And then some condensed milk. When I go on bike trips, early mornings, especially on a weekend, especially like now, winter times, where it's icy in the morning, to stop off along the road somewhere, make a cup of coffee on my little gas burner, camping, but then just top it up with a little bit of condensed milk for that sweetness.
That's the thing, is you'll plan your bike trip with that in mind. You'll have the flask and everything. That's
I
how
have
important
everything.
It is.
It's permanently stored in my bike box.
Or another hack, keep a little sachet, 1.8 gram coffee stick or a cappuccino in your pocket, because you never know when you go somewhere and they don't have good coffee.
Listen, I'll eat
Then
it.
you just ask for hot water and
I'll
you
eat
add
it
your
dry,
own.
Saskia. I'll eat it dry if I have to. I love that. I'm just thinking of Wonky Donkey and how my kids understood me when he's a cranky Wonky Donkey because he hasn't had his morning coffee, and I get that. I am.
Listen,
the
I
cranky donkey.
need coffee.
I'm
right
sorry,
now. You
dude.
guys all had coffee.
Who doesn't?
Luckily, we have this man on standby. Lucian, you're a gentleman.
awesome.
Thank you.
Gem.
That's
Be
much
a gentle
better.
pat on the back as well. Thank you very much for that.
No marshmallow in there, hey?
Well, if we have a marshmallow lying around, I'll put it in. But for now, this is good. Thank you.
I absolutely love this. Thank you for representing coffee at the same level of enthusiasm as I do.
Thank you for having me, and cheers.
Cheers to you.
I know, I
Thank
think,
you very much. This is fun.
I think we found our spirit animal. Thank you so much, Saskia. I absolutely love it. There is a whole world of coffee out there, and I mean that. Go get creative. Change it up. And Jakers have made it so easy for you to do that because they are offering everything from instant coffee to capsule coffee to instant cappuccinos that are like dessert, and even the iced coffee, which is delicious, man.
Oh, you know what? That would definitely be my go-to on a hot summer's day. But for now, you are in luck because when you buy any 2 Jacobs packs in store, you stand a chance to win one of 20 Smeg whistle kettles, and they are fancy.
Wow.
And one of 10 75-inch Samsung UHD TVs. Come on now.
What's going on?
For all those details on how to enter, you can just visit the Expresso Facebook page, and step-by-step guide will be there just for you to tell you exactly how to go about it. Now, this is a great chance for you to win some extraordinary prizes to make sure that you get on it ASAP.
And until then, just go make yourself some coffee. Hit pause and savor it.
Cheers.
Here's Coffee Magicians. Who know what you get out starts with what you put in.
Now, we're continuing our little coffee journey this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and there's nothing better than that first cup of coffee in the morning. I mean, this is true. And as coffee lovers, we know that drinking coffee comes with a variety of health benefits as well. But did you know that leftover coffee grounds can help you get your glow back? Say what, Ewan? Yes, I know. Now, beauty editor Knox, she is here. She's always full of ideas. She joins us in the studio with beauty hacks that will help you love that beans a lot more. Knox, lovely to see you.
Good to see you too.
I am wondering what is going on here because there's lots of prep that's going to be taking place. But we are talking about the benefits. What are some of the benefits of using coffee for it? Well, obviously, I think we can do skincare.
Yes, absolutely. So I think a lot of people underestimate how much power there is in caffeine, right? So it's really great in terms of, you know, energizing the skin. It's great for premature aging. It's been used for acne. So a lot of the time, actually, you'll find that it's in a lot of beauty products because it's such a powerful ingredient.
Now we know her secret, why she's always glowing like this, right?
Absolutely. I had to share it with Mzansi. So it really is a great way. It's great for circulation. And what I love is that you can use things at home to create great solutions and great hacks that really help with circulation, premature aging, acne, and all from the comfort of your home.
Okay, I love that.
Yes.
And it's also you can reuse your coffee grounds.
Which is great.
Exactly. You kind of
I
turn
love
it into a
that.
full circle. So what hacks are we focusing on this morning?
So I'm someone who sometimes struggles with dead skin. You know that in winter you find that you get a lot of buildup that's happening. So exfoliation, which is one of my favorite things to do, is great to do. So we'll use some leftover coffee grounds here. So we just need a little bit of this that we add here. And then over here I've got some coconut oil. So what you're going to do is help me just pour a little bit of that coconut oil.
Of this?
Here we go.
All right.
So we've got a bit of coconut
Just a
oil.
little?
Yeah. There we
How's
go.
that?
That's right. And then we mix that up. And if you can just add like a teaspoon of water in here.
All right.
So now, just a little bit, that's enough. Perfect. So what we do now is we're creating a bit of a solution, right? I can even add a little bit more so it's a paste. And then this becomes exfoliation for hands. So if you put this on, I'm going to try a little bit here.
Okay, let's get this ready here for
Exactly. So you put this on your hand. Oh, it's nice and warm. And honestly, it's great for exfoliation. And as you can see, I've just got some water here to help. You can put this also on areas that have got cellulite. You put this on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it forms part of your solution. And here you have a really effective exfoliation. It helps with circulation and all from the comfort of your home.
Look at that.
So easy.
Well, it really is a great exfoliator. This I can
Absolutely.
definitely attest to. But your hands being soft, especially with the coconut.
Exactly.
There we go.
Thank you so much.
There we go.
And so then, of course, if we move on to people who struggle with bags under their eyes, which is, I mean,
a lot of
halfway
us.
through the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't want to actually focus on makeup all the time and you want to do something yourself, there's a really great solution. So here you'd need olive oil. And again, you'd need your coffee grounds. So if we try a little something like this, I've got a new one here.
So this time olive oil.
Olive oil. So
Okay.
all we need is a teaspoon of the coffee ground, which we'll put in here. And then if you can help me with a teaspoon of olive oil.
Okay, so I'm just going to actually just pour it in.
That's right. And then we mix it a little bit. And then what you can do now is just put it under your eye, which we're not going to do now. But if you can just, just put this over here, just take a small solution, and then you can just dab it under your eye again. Keep it for about 10 minutes.
Just keep it there,
exactly. Just keep it under your eye, and that again will help with the circulation. It helps also with dark circles. So people tend to struggle with that. Hyperpigmentation is a big thing that people struggle with.
Yes.
So this is a great ingredient to focus on.
All right. So under the eyes. So we had the hands done, we have the eyes. We have one more here. What's going on?
Now it's the lips. I don't know. Are you struggling with like dry lips?
During winter, especially, dry lips is an issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so coffee is really great for that also. So we can use a bit of that. So we take a bit of our solution here.
Okay.
So we take a bit of our coffee grounds and then a little bit of honey. All you need to do is just take that solution and you just rub it on the lips. And you can keep that there.
Just
and
a little bit. Like.
Exactly, that's right. Just so that it's
Like
enough of a paste. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
And then you take that solution and you just, in circular motions, put that on the lips. And it becomes this wonderful paste and a bit of a tasty paste. So try not to lick it. But then once you put that on the lips for a little bit and you wash it off quite carefully so that it doesn't get into your mouth, it is an excellent way to leave your lips feeling absolutely smooth, get rid of those dead skin cells, and honestly, looking sharp.
Okay, well, I will try the lip thing because I love honey. So pass that. So I'm going to use, can I just use my finger?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Keep it okay.
I'm going to use my finger here.
Do that, right? And so you put that, and then in circular motions, don't get yourself dirty.
Just like that.
Exactly. And so you'd keep going there like that, and then we can just wipe it off quite easily. Don't know if you want to try using this.
Do I have something in my teeth?
I mean, you've got quite a bit on your teeth, but it's a great, and there, now tell me how that feels after that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It feels like I, yes.
Exactly.
And a little bit of honey.
Exactly.
A little bit of coffee. That's nice.
It's such a great,
It's almost like a little bit tingly now after that little exfoliation.
And it's literally those circular motions that really help. That caffeine gets in there, boosts circulation. And even now, my hands, honestly, with that coconut oil, like you mentioned, adds that moisture, and the scrub is there. So honestly, if you've got stuff at home, make use of it. Nature really does give back to us. And this is a great way to do so.
I love that because especially, I mean, during winter, taking care of our skin, the hands, the face, the lips, because it is dry. Like you said, there's this build-up. Because of the dryness, your skin wants to almost like overcompensate.
Exactly, absolutely.
Get it right. I know a thing or two, eh?
Exactly,
I just surprised myself there for a second.
But honestly, excellent ways to use coffee, and I think it's so great that it has these natural ingredients. Circulation, helps with premature aging and acne. So really, it is a key ingredient in that.
All right. Well, Knox, thank you very much. I mean, these are great beauty hacks. Next time you make yourself a cup of coffee, I mean, save those grounds because like you've rightly seen right now, there's a lot that you can do with it. Beautiful, soft skin, plump lips as well. So, yes,
let's get
put it there. I like that. Soft hands.
Thank you so much, team. Well, Chef Tilivali is not going anywhere. Meals with mash, it means we got to make mash. And if you haven't stumbled on her page yet, go and look at it now quickly before we return for the final installment of the Culinary Hotline, where, yes, we are going to be making some gorgeous mash to go with our gorgeous meatballs. And then Seth Gray serenades us out of today's show. I am ready for this. Stick around.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back, you beauties. It's Meals with Mash, and she is so sweet. If you haven't stumbled on her amazing page, do yourself a favor, get on it and get inspired. We have the woman herself here in studio. Tilly Vardy has been amazing so far, but she has been the perfect representation of Women's Month as we start Women's Month. So can we get an extra loud culinary hotline bling? Ting, ting, ting! She was terrified I was going to make her do it alone. She was like, is everyone going to do it, or am I going to just do it? I don't know. So, Tilly Vardy, obviously MASH is kind of a thing for you.
Yeah,
it has to be a thing for you. And there is no pressure because everyone loves the perfect mash. I mean, this is quite a personal thing for a lot of people. Some people like it a bit more rustic, a bit more chunky. I'm more on the smooth side. What for you typifies a good mashed potato?
So I also love my mash very smooth. So I'd advise you, if you want like a very smooth mash like I do, you cook your potatoes until they're very cooked through. Drain all the water, cook, and then mash it very well, and then add in lots of butter. Good
Lots
butter.
of butter, yeah. more better. And it's amazing how butter can elevate most things.
Sure.
Probably why we have such a lovely relationship with it. Okay, you've got a couple of flavor additives here, and I'm seeing some shrooms just drifting around. Talk us through the process and how can I help?
So like I said when we were making scones, I don't really like boring food.
100%.
So I also love some flavor in my mash. I'm going to make it with creamy mushroom sauce.
Wow.
So I'm going to start off by sauteing my mushrooms, create the mushroom sauce, and then add it to our smooth mash.
Oh, I love that. You're hitting a couple of flavor notes here. Yeah. And I love the fact that you've taken quite a simple meal that people at home aren't going to be too intimidated to try. Meatballs and mash, that's great. Absolutely. And you've shown some very sly, clever little hacks to just elevate it. Hey, this is kind of restaurant vibes here. When you start to see these little nuances of flavor in this way, woo, magic.
Yeah. So you're just going to melt our butter, then add in our mushrooms.
Butter is also very good.
Yeah. Can't really do mushroom butter.
And we've gone, I'm assuming these are the normal kind of chopped up white mushrooms, button mushrooms, that kind of vibe. And I know we are spoiled for choice with the produce that we get in South Africa.
Until they are soft, release all the juices. Add in garlic.
Because we must.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you're not putting the garlic in too early. And I think that's often a danger for us home chefs. We want to flavor that oil right from the onset. And obviously garlic having a high sugar content, you know, we overcook the garlic, or that's a big thing for me, is I kind of overdo it. When is the right time to introduce garlic?
So you introduce garlic when whatever you're cooking is almost soft or just cooked through.
And it's on the verge.
Yeah, when it's on the verge, and also just so that it does not burn, because I've always found that when you add garlic first, it easily burns quickly.
And I think it's the same for onion as well, because they do have, for vegetables, have quite high sugar content in it, which is wonderful, but just respect the ingredients. Beautiful. I mean, this just be a sauce in itself. Just throw some pasta in there and you've won. Absolutely beautiful. Mushrooms are looking good. What's next?
So now we're going to add in our garlic.
And don't be shy of the garlic. Okay?
You can be very generous.
Yeah, man. And I always go, I'm like, garlic is so good for the immune system. I don't know if it has antioxidant action, but I always tell myself.
And then you're also good with pepper.
Black pepper, cool.
And a bit of salt.
And I love this. It's not to make the dish more salty or more peppery. It is to make those flavors. The reason why these heroes, the salt, so well, it's just a flavor. So we have created the most delicious kind of meal plan for the day. We had our gorgeous lemon scones, which were exquisite and something I've never tasted before. And now we are whipping up these gorgeous meatballs with the most rich and decadent sauce. I mean, the velvety look on that sauce is amazing. And that means we need a mashed potato to match that. And we have got the perfect complement. Oh, absolutely delicious. I wish you could see off this plate. Mushroom-infused mashed potato. Okay, that's looking beautiful.
Then now we're going to add in our cream.
Okay. Oh, look at that. I think you've just changed the meal plan for the day. And if you want to eat along with us and do some prep at home and blow the minds of your family tonight, you can go to expresso.com and find all of this. In terms of people engaging with you on your social media space, how much of a collaborative effort is this? Do you answer DMs? Do you take recipe inspiration from your followers? Do you kind of share in that community? How do you connect with the people that connect to you?
So I do respond to DMs. Sometimes I do ask them what they want to see on my page, and then I'll do exactly what they want. And then sometimes I just go and bring it with whatever is inspiring me at the moment.
Where does that come from? Are you that kind of person while you're eating something in a restaurant, you're like, ooh, I could do this differently. I could do this better. Where does that culinary inspo come from? Because it strikes me that you get that a lot.
Yeah. So I got a lot to restaurants, and I'm like, I need to put my touch to this, so I'm going to recreate this. And sometimes it's mostly because of what I watch on TV and what I'm seeing on social media.
And I love that. I think the foodie trends within the TikTok space particularly have changed my outlook and the way I engage with social media. Yeah. I've now got all of these wonderful little resources when I need a quick meal, I need a quick fix, I need a quick beauty hack, a quick energizer, maybe some motivation, a little meme or something. I've recurated my social that feeds positively into that. And the foodie space has been amazing because we have so many young, amazing chefs in South Africa that are being born into superstardom within spaces like Instagram and TikTok, which is amazing to me.
Yeah. So we've just finished off our sauces with our sauce with parsley. Mm. We're just going to transfer this to our mash.
Okay. All right, so the mash we have mashed.
You've mashed this already.
I mean, would you go as far as blending the mash? If you've cooked your potatoes thoroughly enough, is that okay? Or can you take it a step further and get in there with a hand blender? Like how far? Push it through a sieve? How far do we need to take the smoothness of our mash?
Whatever works for you, I think you can. If you really blend it, then you must be lazy.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, I don't want to waste
because it's
anything.
More work. You have to clean the blender thoroughly afterwards.
Exactly, yeah, I suppose. So what you lose on the front end, you make up on the back end. So we had another voice note come through. Let's hear what you had to say.
Hi, I just want to know, can a person bake that in a microwave? And if so, how many minutes?
Okay. Well, talk about shortcuts and life hacks. And it does beg the question, can you make mash in the microwave?
I think you can.
I think you can. How do you think you would do that?
So I would put my potatoes in hot water.
Okay.
Then put them in a microwave for like maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, so they must still be in the hot water when they... Would you chop them up like that into the cubes and then do it like that? Okay.
I chop it in cubes just also so that it cooks faster.
Sure.
Small cubes and then mash it afterwards. So I think you can only mash it once it's very smooth.
Once it's really smooth like that. And okay, no, that's cool, but go for it. Give it a try and let us know, Anonymous. Okay, our beautiful mushroom infusion is now being incorporated into our luxurious mash.
And you can see it's also going to change the color, so your mash is not going to be like pale.
Wow, I like that. And the fact that because you've cooked the potato, there isn't a huge amount, to this degree, there's not a huge amount of moisture there.
Yeah.
So you're introducing a little bit more moisture. So just be aware of that when you're bringing the sauce element into it. It is going to change the consistency, but it's changing into what looks like restaurant quality, absolutely perfect mash. So when I said you were fancy this morning, I had no idea. When you opened your account with the scones, absolutely beautiful. If you want to emulate what looks like the most nutritious, delicious recipe we've made in ages, head over to expressoshow.com or go on to Meals with Nash. She is amazing. You've been so cool today. Thank you so much for opening a window into your amazing world.
Thank you so much for having me. And I think we're done with our smooth mash. We're going to plate it up with our meatballs.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Well, hopefully you've been cooking along at home and have achieved something spectacular. If you're going to do it for the family tonight, please send us some photos so we can see the proof. And I want to see the proof in the pudding on the kids' faces, but this looks spectacular. Thank you for helping us kickstart Women's Month. So we will catch up with you one last time to do a little taste test, I have a feeling.
Lots of inspiration for you this morning, but we have 10 minutes left of your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. We're going to squeeze as much as we can into that 10 minutes. After the break, we are having a lach. It's Expresso's lach of the day and another epic performance of Seth Gray. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's my feel good.
This is your Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. What a morning, my friend.
It has been.
What
look, I'm a
morning.
coffee lover, so this has scratched like every itch that I've ever had. Absolutely amazing. It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster with all of the financial chat, so I think we need a bit of a lach, bro.
Absolutely. We have to end off on a good note. So let's quickly take a look at today's lach of the day. And you know what? For this one, I am absolutely certain that even El Presidente can do it as well. Have a look.
Let's see. Papa.
I said excuse me. I said excuse me. That one is good for two. No.
How much do I miss my little girl? Ballerinas
man.
can fart too, okay?
Just in case you were wondering, yeah.
Oh, no, man. How much do I miss my little girl? I'm telling you, dads of little girls who are around 2, 3, they understand. Absolutely
All
sweet,
right,
man.
buddy boy. We have another performance. You're going to head off. Listen, it's been wonderful to hang out with you, but we are not done just yet. Seth Gray is still here. Let's chat to the man himself.
We are back with South African R&B and neo-soul singer Seth Gray. And we're loving the fact that we get to be a part of kind of what feels like a moment of becoming for you in your career. So well done on getting to this point. And thanks for backing yourself, man. Because we get to see so many of these journeys with backup singers who are so talented, just not taking that step. So well done for embracing it. I've got to ask you, going through the creative process and performing, two absolutely essential kind of polarities in your career. What gets you buzzing? Do you like to be in that production space where you're working on the fine-tuning, or is it on a stage with people in front of you, even if it's just 20 people in front of you? What gives you that buzz?
It started on stage, and then as I was being on stage from the age of 4 up until 20, I only stepped into the studio. So that's when I started to see the other side of music, and now I've fallen in love with it. The creation, just being able to create something fresh and new that comes from inside of you, there's nothing like that feeling. But obviously, stage is my first love, but yeah.
Yeah, man, and I think it's very difficult to explain to someone what that energy is like, because it's different almost every time you walk out onto a stage, which is great. We've got the EP coming out. How are we going to be releasing this into the world? Do you have performances coming up? How can people plug into this live magic?
Yeah, so hopefully I'm going to be performing. Sometimes I perform at Mojo Market, at little bars and stuff around. And yeah, obviously if you just check on my social medias, you're going to see where I'm going to be performing and what I'm going to be doing. So I've got a show on the 28th of July that's coming up. Yeah, and that's going to be my first debut big show. So yeah.
Oh, good luck, brother. I'm nervous to ask you, what does OSL stand for? Can you say it in Breakfast TV land?
It stands for Old School Loving.
Old school loving. Oh, and you know, there are a lot of old schoolers out there going, yes, finally, someone performing a song about what we need, okay? No, buddy, thank you so much for being here and choosing us as the platform to release so much new music. I know this is going to take you back a year. You said the song's a year
the song
old.
Is a year old, yeah. So I released this in 2022, and I'm just going to be performing it for you guys now.
Oh, we cannot wait. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth Gray with OSL. Take it away.
I got that old school, I got that old school loving, I got that old school loving. Said it's been quite a while since I felt something real. Have you ever been in a place where it feels too familiar, like a best experience in? Oh yeah. Previous life. No, I'm not saying this is supernatural. Yeah, but there has to be another involved. The sun most ever got you call on. Say put you in my path so we could feed you like an old school loving. So kind of like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance always. This feels like an old school loving. So kind of like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance always. go on. And sit with you in my bed so we could sit feed you like an old school loving. Sit captive like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance I'll miss. This feels like an old school loving. Sit captive like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance I'll miss. Break. So tell me, why does this feel like we've done this before? I know that it's real, and we've got time to explore. If this is our best life second chance, we'll make sure we won't last, yeah. 'Cause you've got me feeling like an old school lover. So kind of like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance I'll miss. This feels like an old school loving, and kind of like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, oh no, but it's not a chance I'll miss. This feels like an old school loving, so kind of like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance I'll miss. This feels like an old school loving, so kind of like a very first kiss. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance I'll miss. Yeah, yeah. It's like an old school loving, a very first kiss. Yeah. Not understanding what is coming, but it's not a chance I'll miss. No, baby, baby, yeah. Baby, baby, baby. Oh no, 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 no.
Absolutely amazing. Meals with MASH. Please go online and check her out. You've been a superstar. Now we get to taste. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
And
We
another
love you.
performance from Seth on Facebook and YouTube Live. Stick around for that. Have a lekker Wednesday, Mzansi. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm tasting. Come to me, my little friend.
Another feel-good production.
It's getting spicy in here. Welcome to the performance we've all been waiting for this morning. Joining us, South African R&B, a neo-soul singer, Seth Gray. And I want to say just a little hip-hop artist. It was probably the longest hip-hop artist. Judge Fangares, yeah, yes. Thank you so much for being here, my brother. Guys, I know that collaboration is awesome in principle, okay? It's so much fun to think of doing something with your mate and being kind of collaborative in that space, but then you've got to actually get the job done.
Yes.
Who's the workhorse here? How does that creative energy flow between the two of you?
Do you know what's perfect? Both of us are the workhorses. I've never met anyone that I've worked with that's been so uppity and been like, yeah, when are we doing this? When are we doing that? When are we doing that? Because I'm exactly like that as well. And normally I have to beg people. So this combination, Works perfectly.
Why did you jump on board here? You're quite spicy, bro. We could feel the energy the second you stepped into studio, and now you're chilling it out with some neo soul. What was it about this that got you so excited?
To tell you the truth, I was living my life since, and then that's where I came to bother me. Just, I need you on this show, and my debut, it's going to be authentic, it's original music. So then I paid attention, because now when people ask me to collaborate, it's always about being original. It's always about being authentic. It's like, okay, that's what I'm here for. So, yeah, now I can relax.
Yeah.
Since, you know,
Okay,
doing the
now you're making me nervous now. I don't know what to expect. Brainseeker.
Yes.
Can we talk about this on Breakfast TV?
This is actually, I'm blessed to actually be singing this, because this is Just Finger Songs with the amazing Claire Phillips.
Wow.
So he's asked if we could just sing her part today with the help of Zia and Andrea. And yeah, hopefully we do Claire justice.
I've no doubt that you will. So we're sending Claire lots of love right now as well. But this is a wonderful opportunity for us to plug into the magic that is happening here. And I have a feeling you're only just getting started. So thank you so much for being here. Jits Vinger and Seth Gray are about to bring us a little Brainseeker. Enjoy. Woo!
Yes, yeah. Soos julle kan verstaan, church, pag die manne nie meer hadden bijvoorbeeld de swamp, dus lekker was en open is de Brainseeker met Seth Gray, Expresso Live. Oeh, gorgeous, waar zal ik begin zitten in toe? Laat ik jou daar met lekker blues chords, op een gitaar met een Spanish move. Pour my thoughts op mijn pentatonic schaal wat geloop wordt. Gooi jou skouwers opgemaakt, zij zijn ouwelijk, wonderlijk, moves, zoet zij voel, met de onderlip. Ik hoop dat ik in mezelf wat ze ondervindt. En het met mijn kop, zo kan het is nog een stuk. Ik druk het stok binnen bouwdik gezout. Limits worden soos ons klim. Het krip en het klauw. Mijn was zit ik in jou, me down. Six vergullig op relax mode, het zal vandaan.
Brainseeker, niemand het de smaak soos jy nie. Soet goed is kaas, so kykie. Soek hy Brainseeker.
Smaak in de fiets, wel altijd door de gaten. Maar hier komt mijn chorus, no shit.
Brainseeker, niemand het de smaak soos jy nie. Soet goed is kaas, so kykie. Ek soek hy Brainseeker.
Smaak in de fiets, wel altijd door de gaten. Waar bij mijn gedachten vrij die Brainseeker. Ik moet het zien, het gaat niet zoals die. Wat nou luister zien zij. Kijk eens aan, imagine, zij meet iemand. Wie zijn gedachten zij kan Andres en liefde maak, zien zij. Met hij binnending, zien zij, die brein, zeker. Side B voor jou Einstein, hier komen nog een stanza. Twice as nice. Wordt betrokken van zogens op die volgende ogen. Like-minded op zoek, lokkelen in. Hou die printen weg, ons kan het sketch met woorden skat. Week je intellect, jou sirup, jalm wordt oorgevat. Vernis jou nerves, ik is recht om te sul. Slip in de tek, ik hou jou in check, hoor niet die pur. De box die lights alleen zonder stop zoet. Sexy sopnat, sapioseksuele geolie voor tackle. Mentally sy ken haar story. Jou uiterlijk is wel mooi, maar vir my sit dit binne jou wysheid. Laat my kooi onmiddellik. Spin dit in 'n sin op 'n sin of 'n sin is ek gorgeous. As dit my al op my vingers woep, is dit lekker. Met die young one is nooit 'n kaart missing. Ek geniet myself met 'n level boek aan matriek. Hoe graad asseblief dis. Ek sal af boeke te dra.
Niemand het de smaak soos jy nie. Soet goed is kaas, so kykie. Ek soek hy Brainseeker.
Smaak in de fiets, wel altijd door de gaten. Wat met mijn gedachten vrij is.
Brainseeker, niemand het de smaak soos jy nie. Soet goed is kaas, so kykie. Ek soek hy Brainseeker.
Smaak in de fiets, wel wat my stimulate. Ek is down voor my slim getuie.
Come on, I was going to ask you, are you the brain or the bird? You're definitely the bird. You're definitely the bird, bro. I love it. So now, in 9 months, okay, you're going to see Seth running around, and you're going to see a couple of jits. They're going to be out there, I have no doubt. You brought us some old school love, some old school flavor with a very powerful new energy. Thank you so much for being that for us today, man. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you so much for bringing this exquisite level of talent. How privileged are we that we get this every single day? You better come back.
We will.
Pretty soon.
Yes.
One last reminder, performance on the 28th.
Yes, 28th of July, Youngblood Gallery in Bree Street. Me and Jits Vinger with Zia and Andrea and my amazing band as well. So it's going to be even bigger, even better.
See, it's nice when they come from behind the scenes. They know who to show appreciation for. I love it. You have all been superb. This is top draw stuff. So thank you so much for bringing that energy into our space. How privileged are we? Most importantly, when you love the music, download it. Support artists that are this good and also doing it for each other. We are here for those collaborations.